Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Talk Radio.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, Ash. Yes. Oh, yes. What's happened to me today? I was shouted at by a woman because my dog did a dump in her garden. I've been stitched up by Bucks County Council, and I've been at the top of BT Tower. Busy. I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Shakalaka boom, shakalaka went the Joker's music. Let me turn that off. Oh, dearie me. Good evening, dear listener. Iain Lee, Talk Radio. I've made the studio an absolute piggin mess. Who was it who used to say piggin? There was someone on TV that I think we've not had for a while. Now I've got my computer. We can... is this going to work? You going to work for me? There we go. We can have a little bit of that in the background. Good evening, dear listener. It is Iain Lee. Talk Radio 0844. It was Bobby Ball, was it, who said piggin? 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. If you want to give us a call, you're more than welcome to. The studio is a tip. Partly my fault. The aircon has gone back on to warm, guys. It's gone back on to warm. This studio... the boys before me, Jonathan and Ashley, they have it pigging hot in here. Absolutely pigging hot. So when we come in, it takes about half an hour for it to cool down, which is groovy, man. It's groovy. But we can't always get the aircon to work. So it's pigging hot. How's your day been? Mine sucked. Yeah, mine kind of sucked. Pretty ropey day. I tell you, let's do the nice thing we did. Kath and I went up BT Tower. Not a euphemism, but we were very kindly invited by the Samaritans to go up BT Tower. Now, for anyone growing up in the 70s and the 80s, BT Tower was perceived as being the height of luxury. You would go and have a meal up there on the rotating restaurant as a height of luxury. And, of course, Noel Edmonds would host a Christmas shindig, around Christmas time. And then they closed... Did they close it down because of the IRA? Is that it? Well, now it's all... I mean, I'm old enough to remember when it was GPO Tower and Scratchwood Services. Beat that, if you can. 0844 499 1000. Call in now, otherwise Alan is going to be the first caller of the night, guys. So we went up GPO Tower today, and here's the thing, right? The security there, because obviously now it's not the IRA, are not so much of a threat. It's ISIS. And now the big threat... they're the big threat. So they have hot security, man. Now, when I say hot security, I walked through the metal detector, bomb detector thing, and it went off. And the man said, could you walk through that again? I did. It went off again, and they waved me through. He waved me through. We got to go up, and you go up in a lift, right, that's travelling, get this, at 22 miles per hour. Imagine. I said some funny things in the lift, as I often do in lifts. I don't like this being quiet in a lift. I don't get the, I know what, we're all in a lift, let's not say anything. No, guys, we're in a lift. That's my time to shine. I have a captive audience, and I don't remember what I said. I've jotted it down somewhere. I may have recorded it on my phone on voice memos. I'm not sure. But I was very, very entertaining. And the look of pride on the lift operator's face. He was only a wee man. Turns out he'd also been in the military. We found out on the way up. I said to him, you look very proud of your lift. Got a little laugh, and he was proud of it. On the way down, because the lift make, as you know, I've got very sensitive cranials. I think it's, I don't know if it's what makes me a genius, but it certainly, my brain is very sensitive. Any sudden movement, I can't go on fairground rides, for example, because I'm ill literally for 3 days after going on a fairground ride. And I struggle with travelators. But going down in the lift, I was feeling very peculiar. And I said to the gentleman, don't you ever feel peculiar going down in the lift? And he said, no, I used to fly Chinooks. Whoa, get in there. So I wanted to know more, but I suspected if I'd asked for more information, Will and Alan, we'll come to you in a little bit. So yes, someone's right. I thought the post office tower was closed after it was attacked by a giant kitten. People of a certain age will get that, and I get it. The goodies, I think. Was it the goodies? 0844 499 1000. Hey, Will, so we're talking to the lift man, and I asked him how business was going, and do you know what he said?
Are you talking to me?
Is your name Will?
Sorry, I didn't hear you say Will.
I'm
guessing he said up and down.
Hang on a second. Alan?
Hip, hip, hip.
So I was talking to the lift operator today and asked him how business was going. Guess what he said?
Let me guess. Was it going up and down?
Yes, both of you. That's what he said. Thanks for ruining the show's opening gag. Thanks, guys. Hey, Will, you're buzzing.
I'm what? I'm buzzing?
But listen, shh. You're either letting out a very long, slow one, or you've been to Ann Summers, or Well, it sounds like you're on a tractor or something. Wagwan, Will? Wagwan.
I'm unaware of any buzzing sound, which is a shame, because, hey, I'm a first-time caller.
Hey! I've got to... Hang on a second. Stop the music. Are you a long-time listener?
I am absolutely a long-time listener.
There we go, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Then you, sir, Will. I've been to East Grinstead. I went out with a girl in East Grinstead once, and if I were to ever rekindle that relationship, unlikely, I would come down there, Will, and before any nookie happened, I would say, stop this. I have to find Will. I'm going to give him a medal.
Thank you.
Do you know the Black Boys pub?
That between East Grinstead and Tunbridge Wells?
Yeah, well, I think so. Have you been in the Black Boy? Isn't it amazing they can still call a pub the Black Boys? The Black Boy. Gazza gets fined £1,000, and yet you can still call a pub the Black Boys.
No.
Where's the justice?
Isn't that because there's a village there called Black Boys?
Could be.
I think that's what it is. I've not been to the pub.
It could be. There could be a village called
Black
Boys.
I've never spoken to you before, but I have been listening to you when you were on Absolute.
Okay.
And then I kind of completely managed to miss you on the BBC.
Good. It was rubbish. I had to read out a list of schools that were shut when there was a snowfall. Imagine that!
Well, it put food on the table, right?
It put a little bit of food on the table for one of the children.
3 cornflakes.
Someone by the name of Richard Adamphy, I shouldn't say his name because he's actually pirating and breaking the law, but Richard Adamphy, the pirate, has posted all, or nearly all, of my Absolute shows online.
Oh, really?
That's pirating, and when I get a spare moment, probably in about a year's time, I'm going to chase him through the courts and have that website closed down.
But in the meantime, perhaps you could post the link.
In the meantime, if I find it again, I will certainly retweet it and make sure no one goes there.
Jolly good. Just to let people know where to stay away from.
Let people know this evil filth, this stealing is going on.
Right, so I've only just kind of...
How could you not hear that noise, Will?
What? Describe it.
Well, it sounds like a long fart. It sounds like a tractor in the distance. It sounds like a washing machine. It sounds like an army of vibrators. It's this.
Okay, well, nobody's ever mentioned this before. I mean, the phone's right next to the fridge. That's the only thing I can think of.
Hang on, should be quiet. Hang on a minute, Alan.
Yeah, baby.
You don't have to do it every time, mate.
Sorry. It's like a broken record.
Can you be quiet?
Yeah.
And listen.
Well, this is good radio.
Well, considering what I've got planned for the show, it's a million times better. Alan, can you hear that noise?
I can't hear anything.
Okay, guys. Oh,
it's your tinnitus.
No, it's not, because my tinnitus is very my right ear on tinnitus is like a really high pitched, but even higher, and the left ear it's like a sort of crunkly. It's like a crunkly computer noise. Anyway.
Oh, can you hear that? Can you hear that noise in the background?
That's the same noise.
No, there's another noise, which is my dog wagging its tail against my banjo, and that's not a euphemism.
I want 0844 499 1000. Can you hear Will's noise? The best. Funnily enough, it was at the Barbican, and we're going to the Barbican tomorrow. The best art exhibition I've ever seen, right? And I love art when it's like a bit pretentious and a bit up itself. The best art exhibition, I took my sister and her kids, right, was at the Barbican, and it was a room, right? It was a big empty room. Well, it wasn't empty at all, it's a lie. It was a big room, and there were a few trees and bird tables in this room, right? And there were about 20 electric guitars plugged into amps on stands.
Oh.
Right. Well, that sounds boring. Yeah.
But
here's the good bit.
Okay.
In that room were about 50 birds.
Birds, yeah.
50 birds, right? Little parakeets or something. I don't know what they were. But budgies. They were budgies.
So the guitars were lying on their backs, like on the ground?
And some of them were on stands, and the birds would brush past them or land on them, and you get this amazing sound of birds playing electric guitar, like the Bangles. And it was brilliant! It was brilliant! And then if you stood there long enough, the birds would come and stand on you and then they would shit on you as well. They would. And I'm saying that we don't need to do that because that's actually a true story. That's not gratuitous. So that was the best art exhibition I've ever been to. Will, what's the best one you've ever been to?
I don't recall ever going to an art exhibition. Oh, actually, no, I did go one at some place in London because it was a friend of a friend's exhibition.
Oh. J.R. Hartley?
Jake Chapman or somebody like that? Chapman Brothers?
The Chapman Brothers. Mark Chapman?
That's it, one of them.
Mark Chapman, OK.
Well, probably both of them.
Probably. If it was the Chapman Brothers, it would be Mark and Large Chapman, yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of the stuff in there was kind of kids' drawings and cartoons that were all kind of defaced. Weird stuff like that.
Why have you called in, Will, if you've been listening for so long, but you missed out the last 4 years of my career? Why have you called in now, Will?
Because I've only just joined Twitter.
Uh-oh. Get out! Here's my advice. Get off there now!
Okay.
It's soul destroying. It will suck you dry until you're a husk. Or you might make some, good friends.
Right, I've only recently discovered that you're on Talk Radio and that Talk Radio was even in existence.
You mean you didn't see the posters or read any of the adverts in the newspapers or see the advertising campaign on the TV?
No, I don't watch TV, I don't read papers, and I live in the middle of nowhere.
In that case, they saved themselves several £1 million by not doing any of those things. Good for them, well done. There was a reason for them not advertising. It was to save money.
Well, they knew I wouldn't see them, you see.
Yes, exactly. It's true, Will. OK, well...
But they know I live in a cabin in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, do you know what? Right now, I'd love to live in a cabin in the middle of nowhere.
Well, if you want to visit, I will let you pet my pet sheep. How's that for an offer? You don't get every day.
Is that irritating noise going to be there the whole time? Because it would drive me nuts.
Har, drive me nuts.
Anyway, Will, did we get to...
Okay, just briefly.
Yes, well, too late for that. Yes.
So I only recently discovered you were on here, and then I thought, well, I can't just get all out of sync. I need to find the first show and the second show and the third show.
Yes.
So I've been going through them in order, like some kind of OCD plonker.
Yeah.
And I'm about 30 shows away from being up to current time.
Oh, well, we shouldn't really be talking.
No, well, I'm not going to listen back to it.
Good. Otherwise, there'll be a shift in the time portal.
As soon as I hang up, I'm going to go back to one about a month ago and continue.
What were we talking? Tell us the last one you're listening to. What were we talking about? And maybe we can incorporate that into this.
Well, I've just listened to your interview when you had Stephen Page in the studio.
Oh yeah, that was good, wasn't it?
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Bare Naked Ladies.
Yes.
So that's as far as I've got, and I put them onto my phone, and I play them wherever I go, and people think I'm mad.
I would suggest
I walk around the supermarket with you blaring out.
Oh, have you heard? Oh, you don't know that I've released a single then, do you?
I saw it on Twitter.
No. You can't see it on Twitter if you're 30 behind.
Well, Twitter's up to date.
So I missed an advert break by 5 minutes for this. You're crossing the streams, man.
I know.
You can't go onto Twitter.
Parallel universes at the same time.
You can't go onto Twitter, Will, until you're up to date with the podcasts.
All right. Well, I'm racing through them at about the rate of 2 a day. So in theory, I'll catch up, and I'm hoping.
What if you overtake us? That would be worrying.
I don't wish to be rude, but I'm. Have this horrible thought in the back of my mind that whether the day I finally catch up, you won't be there.
So you really have followed my career closely, haven't you, Will? You're so spot on.
It's really depressing looking tweets up, and I think, oh my God.
Yeah. It's it'll end. My fear would be if in 6 weeks' time you phone us up and you're a month ahead of us.
So that would be interesting.
Wouldn't it? Well, it's really nice.
I will tell you the lottery numbers if that happens.
Well, you need to get a life, but I'm glad you don't have one, and I really appreciate you calling after all this time. Thank you, mate.
Thank you, Iain.
Cheers, Will. Bye-bye. 0844 499 1000. Alan, stay there. Come to you after this.
The radio show for people who know the best part of the day is the night.
Late Night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
We're in big trouble. So there's a guy listening to the show tonight for the first time ever, right? Johnny Two Hats is listening on the radio or the internet. I don't flipping know. So Johnny Two Hats, someone messages Johnny Two Hats and says, switch over to Iain Lee on Talk Radio. Always something different going on. I love it. That's Paul Millam. And we send Paul a cheque of £100 every week for... that's Paul is doing the advertising for this station. Not the station itself. Paul's doing it. Johnny Two Hats replies, I have to say, it's not got off to a great start. And then he's done a colon and a closed bracket, which looks like... Who was that? I heard a voice then. Which looks like a smiley face. And he's right. It's not got off to a great start. It's gone off to a bloody awful start. He's right. You're spot on there. Paul Millam, or Milham, the Talk Radio advertising puppet, says, ha! It's stuff and nonsense and does take a few listens to get that there's no real format. It works for me. He's paid to say that. Johnny Two Hats replies, my goodness. My goodness. My goodness. I can't decide whether this is awful or brilliant. There's a lot of silence. I'm not sure that's great radio. And then he's done the colon and the closed bracket again. Could be worse. It could be a colon and an open bracket, which, if you squint and turn your head to one side, looks like a sad face. My favourite is the semicolon and the capital P. It looks like someone's winking and sticking their thumb out. It's good, that, isn't it? Paul Millam, remember, Paul Milham is paid to say this, has then replied, I think it's brilliant. And he's literally paid £100 a week to say that. And Johnny Two Hats then says, more wine, that's what it needs, more wine. Fortunately, I'm in France, there's always more wine. He's a boozer. And this show really is home to the boozers. Oh, dear. 0844 499 1000. You think it's a slow start, Johnny Two Hats? Well, listen to this guy. Alan?
Him, sir.
You win it round for us, guys.
Also, you know this Richard Dabney?
The Richard Dabney?
The pirate.
What?
The pirate.
What?
You know, the one that's been illegally pirating your shows.
Oh, Richard Adamfi, the pirate. Yeah, I've got a good mind to punch him right where the sun don't shine.
Which shows is he pirated? Is it the weeknight shows or the Sunday night shows?
Why do they say the sun doesn't... When they say, I'm going to get you where the sun don't shine, they mean your bumhole. But I am constantly exposing my anus to the sun rays.
I don't know.
Would you ever have a colonic irrigation, Alan?
I've never had one, so I couldn't possibly comment.
Well, no, the question was, would you ever have a colonic irrigation, Alan?
Be too painful.
I was many years ago, when the TV career, just before it, I didn't realise that it had ended, okay? And I thought there'd be plenty more job offers. Yeah. I was asked to go on a programme by Channel 4 called...
Embarrassing Bodies?
No, what's the thing you do when you get... Celebrity Detox.
Yeah.
Well, I had to do two things, and I may have got this slightly confused. One programme they wanted me to do, and it was just at the time I stopped drinking and taking drugs, ma'am. They wanted me to do this is Channel 4, right? Funded by your licence fee, right? Oh no, hang on. They wanted me to go. They would have paid me £10,000 to go to the Amazon jungle and drink peyote. Drink peyote with the Indians.
What's peyote?
It's psychedelic! They wanted me to go to the Amazon jungle with, like, Richard Blackwood and some other nobodies and do that ritual where you drink the psychedelic juice, and what it does makes you puke up and then you trip your nuts off. And I was so up for it, right? But I then just, at that point, I'd made a very important decision in my life to stop drinking and doing all kinds of naughty things. And I thought long and hard, does going to the jungle to do peyote count as doing drugs? And a friend of mine said, Ian, what do you think? I went, yeah, it does. He went, well, in that case, you shouldn't do it. So.
Was that when you met Fandango?
I met Fandango shortly after that. But I was also, they wanted me, I think, to go with Richard Blackwood and some other people to, like, I don't know, man, Thailand or something, and do colonic irrigation on the telly.
Yeah.
I'd love to know what they'd find up there.
I
wonder too.
Also, I'm going to be in London beginning of November.
Oh, I'm away from London at the beginning of November.
Oh, I was going to ask if I can come and watch the show being done.
No. I tell you what we can do.
It's the 1st of November I'm going to be in London.
What day of the week is that, Alan?
That's a Tuesday.
No. Kath, do the windows in there... Is there a window in there? And if so, does it open? She's having a little look. No, it doesn't open. I was going to say, Alan, I'll tell you what we could do. You could stand outside the building, because in the office there are windows that do open. And what's the longest, Kath and Ed, what's the longest microphone cable we could get, we could possibly get? I'm just wondering if we could feed a microphone out of the second floor window down to Alan Caddick, who'll be waiting down there, and you could shout up at it.
Or I could call in as normal.
Yeah, and not turn up at the station.
No, but which station? Houston, King's Cross, St Pancras, Waterloo?
Up and down, mate, up and down.
Well, I'm going to be seeing a TV programme being recorded that day.
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. You wanted me to... Oh, so what are you doing in London on that day?
I'm going to be watching Catchphrase.
Say what you see, Alan. Say what you see.
It's with Stephen Mulhern.
Oh, say what you see! That's quite good. That was quite a good Stephen Mulhern. I like Stephen Mulhern. I've met Stephen, and he's one of the nicest people you could ever meet. I bet he's got a body in the back garden.
I've seen him once at Butlins in Minehead last year.
Minehead?
Yeah.
Or your head?
No, Minehead.
Oh, that's just down the road, isn't it? They'll be doing that. Were they doing that at the London studios?
On the South Bank.
Literally a 5-minute walk. Quite often, if Kath and I are going for a pizza, we'll walk past those studios. That's how close they are. And I'm still not inviting you in.
I'm sure we can meet in a Kath before the show.
You can meet in Kath if you want before the show.
Meet you and Kath in a Kath?
I'm afraid, Alan, the line's breaking up.
No.
No.
Late night Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. I tell you what, let's start the show at 11, shall we? This first hour, let's just forget it. All right, let's have that. There we go. A bit of music. There we go. Let's forget the first hour. Let's pretend it never happened. You can still call in for the first hour, dear listener, but let's pretend it never happened. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. We call you back, and you can call in, as you will have heard from those calls, you can call in about, literally anything you want. Now, we've got some new listeners. I think we may have lost Johnny Two Hats on the thing. That's fine. I can dig that. But the way this show works is I'm not going to sit here and say, well, tonight we're talking about that bomb in New York, and we're talking about and we're talking about this, and we're talking about that, because that to me is dull. Now, I had a little wobble over the weekend, and maybe what I'm trying to achieve is impossible, and maybe it's wrong. But should we we'll give it a go for a bit longer, shall we? Where I just sit here and talk bullshine, and you occasionally chip in with stuff. Shall we have a go? 0844 499 1000. So, went to the top of the GPO tower today for an excellent do thrown by the Samaritans, and met lots of nice people. Well, we met two people because me and Kath were too shy to talk to anybody. There was a lady from the X Factor there, and there were some nice people, and John Sargent was there, and there were some stirring speeches. Some stirring speeches, weren't they? They were good, the speeches. It was all rather jolly, despite the sombre reason for its existence. The biggest killer of men between, 20 and 50 is suicide. Fun times. But we're gonna, I don't know what, but we're gonna do something. I keep saying gonna. We're going to do something with the Samaritans on the show. But I don't know what. And I'm not quite sure how we're going to do it in our own unique style. But they were absolutely delightful, and they had canapes and everything. Kath got drunk. And it went off. I tell you what, what's this? Oh, yeah. I'm very pleased with myself that I was bored. I was waiting for Halo Wars to update on my Xbox. A lot of updates on my Xbox recently. I don't dig it. And it really slows everything down. So while I was waiting for that to update, I saw the piano was there. I thought, and the dog was asleep. I thought, I'm going to wake the dog up with a song. And I sat at the piano. I know chords and stuff. And I'm very, very proud that I managed to work out most of the chords to Obladi Oblada. No, but it's rubbish. But when you do the den da da den da da den, and you get the I couldn't do the bass and the piano at the same time because that's really hard. Dum 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 dum. I couldn't do that. But when you get the den da da den da da den, you go, oh, that's Obladi. Oh, that's the one of the 5 worst Beatles songs of all time. Of all time, as if they're going to do any more. Please, Beatles, do some more songs, please. And so I spent a good... How long did it take to update? 12 minutes. I spent a good 12 minutes lumbering through Obladi Oblada and entertaining the dog. So that was fun. The dog was not in my good books, of course. As anyone who's followed me on Twitter will know, I took the dog for a walk today, and she did a whoopsie on a lady's front lawn. Now, and that isn't a euphemism, because that would be... How would you even... The woman would have to be asleep, naked. No. So I took the dog for a walk. And where I live, guys, and you can probably... 0844 499 1000, by the way. Where I live, guys, you can probably tell from my accent, it's quite a posh area. And I always pick up... I nearly always, more often than not, I'd say about 50-50, I pick up the dog's poo. Sometimes if it's like really early or dark, I just leave it. I mean, it doesn't matter. If it's daylight and I can't be bothered, I will bend down and pretend to pick it up. I've done that before. Come on, guys. If you've got a dog, you've done that, haven't you? You've done that. You don't always... Particularly if it's at the start of the walk. I do know that some people... This is true. 0844 499 1000, by the way. Some people... Because we did... Someone phoned in and said... They put the poo in the bag and then they hang it on a tree so for when they come back... You think that's acceptable, do you? You think that's okay? Hanging a bag of poo on a tree just so that you don't have to carry it and when you come back you can take it. Because it means that everyone that walks that walk has to walk through a tree festooned with poo. So no. Anyway, Lara did... She did a poo on this lady's front lawn, and it was embarrassing. It was embarrassing, right? And And then the woman banged on the window. Even did that. I went, what? I went, what? She was shouting. Honestly, I couldn't hear what she shouted. I went, what? Can't hear you. What? Like that. It was obvious what she was saying. She was upset that my dog had decided to defecate on her lawn. And I instantly went into defensive mode. Instead of going, oh, sorry, I went, what? I can't hear what you're saying. I'm going to pick it up. I cannot hear you. I'm going to pick that up. So she opened the window and she went, hey, get your dog off there! Get him off there. I went, it's a girl and I'm going to clean it up. And she replied, you shouldn't let her do it there. You should have dragged her into the curb. It leaves a residue. That was her phrase. It leaves a residue. And I said, my response was, I never leave a residue. I actually said those words to an old... She was old. I said, I never leave a residue. And then she shut the window and walked off, and I shouted something. I sort of shouted something. And I cleaned it up, and there was a little bit of residue, actually. She was correct about that. 0844 499 1000. And then the door opened. I thought, oh, Struth. This woman means business. She means business. And she poked her head out the door, and she said... She said everything I think she was saying through the window about the residue, and I said, don't blame me for other dogs' residue and other dogs' owners' inability to clean up that residue. And she said, and this didn't make sense, she said, I don't care who I'm blaming. Don't let your dog go to the toilet on my front garden. And I was fuming, right? And the best line I could come out with, and I think you'll agree, this is, as a mic, what do they call it? A mic drop. When you drop the microphone, right? I didn't have a microphone, but if I did this a bit, I said, oh, for goodness sakes, woman. And I walked off. Boom. Destroyed her. Admittedly, it's not the most powerful mic drop. Oh, for goodness sakes, woman. And walked off. And then... Oh, God, then I felt awful, and anyone who bothers to follow me on Twitter will have seen me. I then walked the dog home. I gave her a stern talking to. She knew she was in the wrong. But I felt awful. Shame attack, full of shame in my chest and my face. Oh, and I was at home and I was fretting about it. This was in my street. I mean, it's quite far up the street, and I don't need to go past that house, but I will go past it. I'm going to, I live there. And... I felt awful about it. So I made myself an omelette after looking up the recipe online. I don't know how to make omelettes. I did a 5-egg omelette. So I'm trying to lose a bit of weight. Eggs make you lose weight. And then here's the thing I did, guys, and this proves that I'm that close to becoming a god, right? I thought, I can't... Hang on a minute. Hang on. I'll tell you after this.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over. Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
So here's what I did. I felt terrible, and I had... The omelette was plain omelette. Didn't add anything. Literally a dash of milk. 5 eggs. One of them... Well, here's the thing. I'm guessing these are the eggs, because my mother-in-law has now got hens. She had the hens that we had when they were chicks. Remember, we had chicks. She's got the hens. So we get all these eggs. 0844 499 1000. Please, somebody stop this rubbish. Double yolker. So does that count? That doesn't count as 2 eggs. So it's still 5 eggs and one of the... 5 eggs, 6 yolks. Anyway, this is what I did, right? I got in the hire car they've given me. Because I had a car crash. Finally, I had a hire car for a week, and then finally, 10 days after the accident, the garage has come and picked up the car to fix it. And they phoned me up and they said, yeah, we can fix it 2 weeks. Beautiful. I said, what's wrong with it? They said, you've knackered it. I went, oh, great. But they've now given me their courtesy car. I don't know what it is, but Kath was in it tonight as we came back from GPO Tower. It's like a little Cinquecento, isn't it? It's tiny. It's one of those cars where everything just feels thin. The steering wheel feels thin. The glass feels thin. The door feels thin. The boot feels thin. The seats feel thin. The handle on the glove compartment feels thin. The light switch feels thin. It's only got one windscreen wiper. By design. That's how small it is. That the window is small enough it can be cleaned by one wiper, and that wiper feels so thin. But I've got that car, and I'm going to love that car. Leo, we'll come to you in a second, I do promise. 0844 499 1000. I got in that car. It was only a 4-minute walk, but I didn't fancy it. I got in the car, and I thought, I'm going to drive around there and kill her. No, I didn't. I thought, I'm going to go and apologise to her. I'm going to apologise to her because it was eating me up. And this is the kind of thing, because I'm a neurotic, socially inadequate idiot, it would have eaten me up all day. So I thought, I'm going to go and apologise to her. And I drove round there and I went and knocked on the door and she opened the door as if to say, And I went, I just want to say... Oh, no, she didn't open the door. Oh, no, this was it. There was a car on the other side of the street that was about to pull away, and they saw me pull up and walk up to the front door, and I thought, oh, there's an audience. I kept saying to myself, there's an audience, there's an audience, there's an audience. I thought it's the neighbours, because they must have seen me shouting her, and they thought, oh, he's going to go back. And rightfully so, they were being good neighbours. We're going to go back and make sure he's going to go back and kill her. Let's watch this. And I kept saying to myself, there's an audience, there's an audience. And I rang the doorbell, and then the woman who I'd had the Barney with got out. She was in the car with her friend. And she went, yes. And I just wanted to say, I am so sorry for what happened about 10 minutes ago. I was completely in the wrong. Should not have allowed my dog to foul there and leave a residue, although I've not left a residue. I don't leave a residue. But I was completely wrong to allow her to do that, and I should not have spoken to you in that way. And she told me to F off. And no, she didn't. She was lovely. She was really sweet. I think she was really surprised that I'd gone round and done it. And I apologise. I humbly apologise, man. That's a thing. Learning how to say sorry. The next thing is learning not to be a dick. That's the next thing. But I'm one thing at a time. And she went, oh, I'm really touched you've come round. Don't worry about it. It's completely forgotten. And don't knock on the doorbell because my husband's on oxygen. I'd rang the doorbell. I went, oh, okay. Right, sorry. And then I got into the car, and then the husband, on oxygen, opened the door. And I went, I've just spoken to your wife. Okay. Like that. But what a delightful lady. It turned out I was in the wrong. I apologised. Everybody's fine. And here's the thing, guys, that makes me think that I'm not very well. I got in the car and I cried. Isn't that nuts? And I went home and I went back to bed. Lee's on the line. Good evening, Lee.
Hip, 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 boss.
Hip, 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 Lee.
Oh, we're all on oxygen, aren't we? I'm on oxygen.
Oh, yeah, Yes, Lee, I'm going back there tonight. I should get back there about 2 o'clock in the morning. Banging on. Oi, my mate Lee phoned me up. We're all on oxygen, love. Good night.
Yeah.
I'll just walk off. Good night.
No, I think you built bridges now. You don't want to upset them anymore.
I don't know about... There's that noise there. Now.
Don't start. Noises again.
No, listen. Right, stay there. Now I'm gonna move you there. Hang on. Oh, hang on. No, I'm not. Hang on. Still there. Can you hear the hum?
No.
No, not you, Lee.
Oh, sorry.
I'm talking to my team of highly trained lizard people. Yeah, right. Now, my team can hear the hum.
Oh.
The listeners at home can't hear the hum. What does that tell us?
Dodgy wiring.
Huh?
Dodgy wiring.
dodgy wiring. We've got to reverse the polarity and sort out the solenoids.
It's the flux capacity you need to worry about.
Hey, I tell you what, I watched a good. This is it. I watched some really good stuff over the weekend.
Oh, go on.
And some rubbish. Do you want the good stuff or the rubbish?
Let's have a bit of rubbish. Go on.
Daddy's Home.
Oh, yes, I've seen it on my planner, but I just skipped past it.
Will Ferrell and Marky Mark. Now, I like Will Ferrell. I know it's fashionable to not like him, and I didn't like him for a long time. But actually, he makes solid, strong, dependable comedies, and I like the character he plays. But I'm afraid Daddy's Home really did let us down a little bit. I'd have to give it 2 stars out of 5.
I bet it's got like 8 on IMDb, though, isn't it? Because you're never accurate.
No, it got a pony score on IMDb as well, but I just thought, do you know what, I'm going to have it. I'm going to have it. It popped up. I thought, oh, yeah, do you know what? I was feeling miserable. I thought, a bit of Will Ferrell. And there were a few chuckles in there. Always a few chuckles with Ferrell. But here's the thing, and I'm going to drop a bomb here in terms of character assassination. I don't think Marky Mark is a good actor at all. And I've seen him in several movies. Maybe, I can think of 3 off the top of my head. There are probably another couple floating around. 4 I can think of.
I can't even picture the fella at the moment.
All right, he was the brother of someone who was in New Kids on the Block.
Oh.
Donnie's brother.
Mark
Right.
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg, yeah.
Oh, sorry, when you said Marky Mark. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg. I know Mark Wahlberg.
Right, let's go through the films I can name. So, right, hang on a minute. We're going to name all the Marky Mark films we can. Mark Wahlberg films. Right, so, there's Daddy's Home.
I can't think of any.
There's the other guys. Is he in that with Will Ferrell as well?
He's done some action films, hasn't
he was in that film that's based on a true story, and I saw this at the pictures, called, like, The Last Man or something, where his troop gets shot down in Iraq. I'm going to call it The Last Man until we get confirmation otherwise.
I can't think of any now.
There was the M. Night Shyamalan film he made called, I think it was called, was it called The Happening and Then Something Happened?
Yeah,
Utter rubbish. Happening. Awful.
Nothing happened, though, did it?
Yeah, it was awful. Right, so that's 4. Daddy's Home, The Other Guys, The Last Man, The Happening.
Am I allowed to cheat?
No, of course you're not, mate. What's the point of cheating?
I can't type on the computer while I'm talking to you anyway. Someone will let us. What he was in now. What was the good films you watched anyway? You said there was good and bad.
I've never seen, what's that, Daddy Dongle? Diddy Dingle? Dongle. Boogie Nights. I've never seen Boogie Nights. I've never seen Boogie Nights.
I'm not sure I have, actually.
There's something about it that doesn't appeal to me.
Do you know what I watched at the weekend anyway? And this is against your advice.
Yeah.
I watched Fred's.
Oh.
Because I heard you talk about it, and I thought, I've got to see what Ian's talking about.
Wow.
Yeah, dear God, never again.
Have you got kids, Lee?
No.
No. Well, you won't want to bring any into the world after seeing that film. Threads is the bleakest film of all time.
It really is, isn't it?
Oh, God. I mean, it goes on for about half an hour too long, but it is just... Oh, dear.
Just some of those images in the last 20 minutes.
The bit after the nuclear war... When they're teaching the kids in that hall or something, and they're watching a really crappy old VHS of Wordy.
That's it.
And it's just, and the kids are just sat there in their rags and their dirty faces, and they're watching Wordy. Do you remember Wordy? Oh, hello! They're watching bloody Wordy after a nuclear war. What good is Wordy? Wordy, of course, is voiced by one of the actors from The Archers.
Oh, really?
He would have got wiped out in that nuclear war.
I think everyone would. I hope I was.
The bit when the mum and dad are hiding behind the door, behind the sofa, and they just puking up. The bit where the government are in their bunker, and they haven't got any food, and they don't know what to do, and they all die in there.
Yeah, it's organised, isn't it?
Oh, mate. Oh, I might have to watch that this week.
The scene that got me is the woman staring at you when she's holding a dead baby. It's like the eyes just piercing.
And of course,
like,
it has the greatest credit. If you check on Threads and IMDb, there is a woman whose name escapes me, but her character is described as a woman who urinates herself in the street.
Nice.
It's true.
That's a great title.
Isn't it? She watches. Isn't it when she's watching The Bombs Land or something, or The Mushroom Clouds or something?
That's when it goes off.
That's a bleak film. Have you seen it, Kath? Threads. Oh, mate. Honestly, flipping heck, it is so. And now we've discussed it for 5 minutes, Lee. I promise you, I will have a nightmare about Threads tonight.
Oh,
I always do when we talk about it in depth.
But the bit I did like, let's do this then. The first 15 minutes, it's just like an 80s retro. I was enjoying the 80s retro.
Bit of Rhys Dinsdale. It's a bit like an Alan Bleasdale, but not quite as bleak.
Yeah, it was like the kids with the Walkman.
Yeah, the first 15 minutes is a lot of fun, and the supermarket's running out of food, and the strike, and then the bombs come, and they get nuclear bombs on Sheffield. Well, Lee, thanks for that. I appreciate that. Maybe I'll tell you the good things that I saw, because I did see some really good stuff actually over the weekend. One of them was, and I know you've all seen it, but we have to tread carefully because Kath hasn't. I want Kath to see it. The Robert Durst thing. I've finally seen the end of the Robert Durst series documentary about this New York billionaire who his wife disappeared and then another woman mysteriously died and then he gets arrested for hacking a body. And I mean, it's just the most... But if we talk about it, we'll have to send Kath out of the room because the last 30 seconds... just absolutely wonderful storytelling, wasn't it? The last 30 seconds of that Robert Durst programme. Oh, man, it was good. Bruce Gatford, stay there. I will come to you in that order after the news. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
A new kind of talk radio. We'll get you talking. Talk Radio.
Someone suggested Threads for Film Ring. Not a chance, buddy. Not a chance. That ain't never going to happen. When we do Film Ring again, I'm going to try and make the next film a little bit jollier. It's 11 o'clock. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Run, devil, run, devil, run, devil, run, run, devil, run, devil, run, devil, run, devil, run, devil, run, devil, run from love.
Oh, so let's... 0844 499 1000 is the... I thought I'd join in there, and then Jenny Lewis and the Watson twins decided to... they ran. 0844 499 1000 is the phone number. It's been all men so far, although Gatford's calling in soon, so that changes it ever so slightly. But love to speak... That was my elbow. That was my bum. Love to speak to some ladies. Really would be nice. Bruce!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Bruce.
I was trying to pretend to be a lady then, because I thought that might...
Oh, was that your attempt at doing a feminine voice?
Yeah.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, I'm not a trained actor, to be fair.
No, that came across. I wonder if actors get trained to do lady acting. If there's a module, right? This module is lady acting. It's only for the fellas. And then the fellas learn to do ladies and be ladies and stuff. I don't know. It's just an idea. If RADA are listening, as I'm sure they are, I'd love to help out sometime. Thank you very much indeed.
One of life's mysteries.
One of life's mysteries, Bruce, and we're never going to solve it. Speaking of mysteries, right? So, I've got the Unexplained magazine.
Yes.
Right. What I'm going to do, me and Kath are going to do, is we're going to go to the scene of... So we talked last week about Brockencock Circle or something? I don't know. It's called something like that. Brockencock Circle. And we're going to go to those places and try and recreate the psychic phenomena as it was reported in the Unexplained magazine.
Ooh.
So we're going to go to Brockencock Ring. Oh, that actually sounds really unpleasant, doesn't it? I mean,
well, the second half does.
Yes, and we're going to go and try and see if we could... Because there, I don't know if you remember, we read it last week, some people levitated and had a chain broken, possibly by the devil himself. So we're going to go and do that. Yeah, we're going to go and do that. I nearly went... Do you know what? I nearly went Saturday and I didn't, and then I couldn't go Sunday because I didn't have a car. But I was bored Sunday. I thought I might drive down to Brockencock Ring and see if I can levitate. But I didn't.
I was listening to the show last week when you were talking about spontaneous combustion.
Spontaneous human combustion. We did a special last week. If anybody has been affected by any of the topics in tonight's show, then please call a number.
Yeah, they'll call you back.
Yep.
And all I could think of was Spinal Tap. Because that's what happened to one of their drummers.
Is it? They Spinal Tap, of course, famously lost all of their drummers. They all died. One spontaneously combusted. One, I think, died in a bizarre gardening accident. It's a long time since I've watched the Spinal Tap, but maybe I'll watch that instead of Threads this week, I think.
You know what? It's probably for the best because I've not seen Threads, but I read up on it on Wikipedia, and just reading it gave me nightmares.
Mate,
like this story and what happened, it was just terrible.
It is. I wonder if we can... hang on a second. I wonder if we can... You're not allowed... Here's the thing, right? You're not allowed to hypnotise people live on the radio, okay? Just in case someone was driving a tanker and they got hypnotised and then they drove their tanker into a bus stop or whatever, right? Or if someone's operating... Yeah, exactly. You're not allowed to do that, right? I wonder... And I'm going to do something I don't think has ever been done on radio. Whoa! I wonder if it's illegal to play snippets of Threads on the radio.
I'm sure it'll be okay.
Okay, well, here's the bombing scene from Threads. Enjoy! Oh, make it stop! Why did you make me do that?
No, I didn't.
You made me do that, Bruce! You made me do that. I'm getting low...
What I was going to say...
Jeez, that was awful.
It was terrible. What I was going to say to you was, thanks to the show music you play, I discovered the museum song from Barnum.
Oh, yeah?
I've never heard it before. And you played it as one of your second-hour songs a few times.
It's good, that.
I love it. Oh.
Where's Watco when you need him? My mate Watco, to cheer me up the other day, phoned up and sang the song to me down the phone.
Oh. I've got to say, Jim Dow's version is far superior to Michael Crawford's, in my opinion.
Yeah. What's it called? The museum song?
Yeah, it's from Barnum.
Yeah, should we have a go, Bruce?
Yeah. Oh, no. I've got no words in front of me. I'm out walking the dog.
Hang on, here's the lyrics. Let me get the lyrics. Right, what I want is... I wish I hadn't seen... We need to do something. That Threads has upset me, right? So we need to do something. So I'm gonna have a go. Right? I've never done this before. Museum... I'm going to do it. Museum song Barnum karaoke. Oh, here we go. Here we go. All right.
I'll join in where I can.
Hang on, here we go. Hang on. Oh no, that. Oh, they don't. What the hell is going on there?
I'm out walking the dog.
Flipping heck! Museum song Karaoke. Let me try it on iTunes. It's not on YouTube.
It's still better than being on the toilet.
No.
At least I'm not caddying.
Barnum. Hang on a minute. All right. I don't want to. Barnum karaoke. No. All right. Hang on a minute.
Ian, what about if we reconvene maybe tomorrow and we'll have a bit of a practice?
Hang on. Hang on. What the hell is this? That's not the thing.
Everything about my museum.
Oh no, that's rubbish. No, it's not going to happen. Bruce, yes, tomorrow I'll do it. It's an absolute promise. What did he say? Gatford.
Yay!
Yay, Gatford.
Oh, you wanted women, didn't you?
Can I just say to everybody watching on Periscope, periscope.tv/Iain Lee, I've got more viewers tonight we've had in ages because I put a swear word in the title.
Controversial.
Put a swear word in the title. It's got all the Americans. And all the bloody French. This guy uses the F word. He's got to be cool. And then they've watched it and they found out I'm not cool. So, in your face, Yankee. Yankee, go home.
They think you're the new Howard Stern.
Yeah. Here's the thing, right? This is... okay. I really don't like Howard Stern.
Well, he once said nasty things about you. So.
He did. He was very rude. This is true. Someone from Howard Stern show. Someone got that clip where Howard Stern is talking about me because I'd love to hear it. Someone phoned up and did this thing they do where they go baba booey, right?
Baba booey.
And I always think okay, right. And then it turned up. It's a Howard Stern thing, and then. Howard Stern played that clip and heard me talking about it and going, hey, that guy sounds like a real dry, what a boring guy. What a boring guy. And I was thinking, yeah, bore on that. But I watched one of the good things. I watched some good things this weekend, right?
Oh, go on. Yeah, tell us what the good things are.
I watched Wiener.
Right.
Are you aware of this film?
No. Oh, no, hold on. Yes, I am. No, I'm aware of Anthony Weiner. Is that what it's about?
It's about Anthony Weiner, who was a...
He's been caught twice now, I believe.
He was a member of Senate or something. I don't know how American politics works.
Yeah, he was a senator or something.
Right. And he was a really good, passionate politician, right? Really puts forward a brilliant argument about... how who are the good guys? The Democrats, and the bad guys are the Republicans, right? How the Republicans. There's this brilliant speech of him saying that the Republicans should offer health insurance to the 9/11 firefighters, and it's brilliant.
First responders and things like that.
And then his career was ruined because he sent pictures of his dick to some ladies.
But his name.
Huh?
Get it? His name's Weiner.
Okay. I saw that. I saw that connection quite early on, and I thought,
oh, really? Okay.
So I thought it was a bit childish. And he's married to so he's Jewish, and he's married to an. I don't know what her extraction is, but I know later on there is a racial slur when someone says you married an Arab. But she works for Hillary Clinton, right? And is really like Hillary Clinton's second in command, right? Anyway, so his career is ruined. 2 years later, he comes back and he wants to be the mayor of New York, right? So he goes on the campaign, and it's humiliating and all of this stuff. And I think I was inspired by Weiner when I went and apologised to this woman, right? Because he's humiliated, right? Publicly humiliated.
Did you show her your? Oh no, sorry, no.
He's public. I'm ignoring this. He's publicly humiliated, but he comes back and he says, "Yeah, I did this. My family have stood by me. I've 2 years in the wilderness. I want another chance, and I think I can do this, this, and this." And people making jokes about it. And very quickly, he wins over the crowd, right? And he's doing really well. He's leading the polls in the mayor of New York race, right? And then more pictures come out. But it's
get new pictures. Yeah, new ones.
Yeah, but not from that. They're old pictures that he hadn't confessed to before.
Yeah.
And the woman he was sending them to is called Sydney Leathers. Sydney Leathers. Right.
Great name.
Anyway, and she's this brassy woman with big knockers. You know, I think she goes and makes a porno off the back of it. Basically, his career is ruined again, and it's a really interesting story. The man I would suggest, is a sex addict. I don't know. He's certainly a narcissist, and he's certainly in denial.
Is he a good photographer, though?
It's. I mean, he's got something down there. Anyway, the reason I bring Howard Stern into this conversation, 0844 499 1000, Jonathan, then Trish, you'll be next, is because Howard Stern gets this Sydney Leathers on his show.
Oh, yeah.
So, and
he does, doesn't he?
He does all that.
He does a bit of the Tim, whatever his face was at the other place that gets, like, the Rudy ladies on. Tim Shaw.
Yeah, he does a bit of that, right?
Yeah.
And it's all, you know what I'd like to see? Oh, what's that, Howard? I'd like to see you confront... You're not even spoken to the jerk. Well, I know he's going to be at this place tomorrow night at 9. Why don't you go down there and meet him? So she stood out there waiting to meet this guy with his wife, and and he's been an idiot and he's done stupid things and blah blah blah. But it's just Howard Stern stirring it up, right? And it was really interesting to watch. I mean, the guy's a millionaire. What do I know? You know me, I'm questioning about whether this is the way forward. The guy has got more listeners than I could ever dream of and has got more money than I could ever hope to have, right? But it got me...
But is he happy?
Well, yeah, he is. It got me thinking, right? That's exactly what I don't want to do.
No.
Exactly what I don't want to do. And I have been guilty of it in the past, and the fairly recent past, of being mean-spirited and laughing at other people's misfortune and mocking people.
So when am I going to get my apology?
I have literally... That is being sorted out by my team, and I'll give you a latest on that when we get the results back from the laboratory.
That'd be great. Yeah.
But I really thought, watching this Howard Stern thing, the opposite of what I want. I want this show to be celebratory and to just not to be stirring up the mess like he was.
So instead of taking Cindy Leathers to Mr. Wiener...
Cindy Leathers?
What would you have done differently? If it was you, what would you have done?
I don't think I'd have had her on. I'd have had him on.
Yeah.
Or I'd have not got involved. It's hard, though.
Or have him on, but not talk about the incidents that brought him there.
I'd want to talk to him about it, because I think it's a really interesting... it's a brilliant film, absolutely brilliant documentary. I think it's
on my list.
Yeah, honestly, it's really, really good. It's a really interesting, and different people come out of it with different. Some come out thinking he's an idiot. I felt sorry for the bloke. Everyone comes out with no, let me rephrase that. Some people come out with immense respect for his wife. Some people come out with an attitude of because she stays by him and thinking that she's an absolute mug.
Did you ever see Mitt? It's another political documentary. It's about Mitt Romney. It's not. There's nothing salacious like there is in the Wiener story. But basically, you come out of it realising that he hasn't had an original thought. That everything he does is because his family told him to. It's fascinating. Every political opinion he's ever had is something that he said by a member of his family, including his kids.
But then, aren't we all products of our environment and those people around us?
But not if you're running for American president. Do you think that's the case? You think you have original ideas of your own?
Hang on a minute. No, the American president is probably has the least amount of original ideas because they are surrounded by huge numbers of advisors.
Didn't work for him when he talked about the 19% or something, was it?
I don't really know much about American politics.
Yeah.
I don't
get it. It was Signs that Marky Mark was in the M. Night Shyamalan film.
Was that the one where everyone was hanging themselves and it was all because there was a breeze or something?
Yeah, was it Mel Gibson and Marky Mark?
No, mate. No, it wasn't Signs. It wasn't Signs. It was called The Happening or something, and then something happened or something like that. So you're incorrect there. But I have got the Planet of the Apes reboot.
How about the remake of The Italian Job?
Yeah, I've not seen it, so it doesn't count. I don't know if you're paying attention, Gatford. This list of Mark Wahlberg films are purely ones that I've seen, mate. Otherwise, what's the point of doing it?
The wild man of late night radio is back.
Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Lots of you, very rightfully so. I would say rightfully so. Very unhappy at me for playing out a section of Threads on the... And that was... You're right, that was bang out of order. I didn't think it would be quite as traumatic as it was. It was horrific. So some people telling me on the Twitter that if they misbehaved at school, they'd be shown Threads as a punishment. I will only have succeeded as a father if, when my children die as adults, old people, they've never seen Threads and they're not even aware of Threads' existence. If they can go their whole lives without even knowing Threads exists, then I've won. 0844 499 1000. I do want someone who's seen the Robert Durst thing, because I just want to talk about that last 30 seconds. Spoiler alert. And another cool thing I saw this weekend, right? I think Dan recommended it on Twitter ages ago. Return to the Batcave. Adam West and Burt Ward in maybe the late 90s, early 2000s. Adam West is 88 years old today or yesterday. Or I don't know. I don't know what his birthday is. I didn't send him a card. He won't come on the show. He ignored our email interview request. Well, up yours, old Batman. But it's quite a good programme. It was sort of telling the story of how the Batman TV series was made, but with Adam West and Burt Ward now, with this flimsy plot of them trying to find the Batmobile. It was an hour and a half. It was an hour. It filled an hour and a half. And sometimes that's all you want. It filled an hour and a half. And then it got me thinking, I want to read Burt Ward's, Robin's autobiography, because he's a pervert, isn't he? He was into swinging and stuff. Loads of shagging. And it's talked about in this, but in the film. But loads of it. To buy a copy of Burt Ward, Robin's autobiography from 1995, you can't get it for much less than 30 quid. I was seeing copies for 60 quid, 70 quid. Flip. And it's all about him being a swinger and orgies. It's all about him having orgies. Well, I'd love to read about Robin having orgies, wouldn't you? I would absolutely love, not 60 quid love, I would love to read a book that's all about Robin having orgies. And apparently in it as well, I read one of the reviews. It doesn't get great reviews. Apparently, he reckons he was better at karate than Bruce Lee. Because that Bruce Lee did a TV series in the 60s, The Green Hornet, which was like the rival to Batman, except it was really dull. And there's an episode of Batman with Bruce Lee in. Have you seen that? Bruce Lee's in Batman. It's brilliant. Yeah. Batman and Robin meet the Green Hornet and Kato. Guess which one Bruce is playing? And Batman and Green Hornet have a fight, and Kato and Robin have a fight, and they come off. It comes off as a draw. Jonathan's on the line. Good evening, Jonathan.
Pepe.
Sorry.
Pepe.
Pepe.
Yes, praise be to Keck.
You're going to have to give me a little bit more, Jonathan.
Keck is Elvish for LOL.
Okay, now you're speaking Elvish to me.
Yes.
Why is that?
Because it's fun.
Suddenly you're into a bit of fun.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, Jonathan? Because your mood recently is all over the shop.
Perhaps I'm pregnant.
Well, maybe. But see, now you're being boisterous and light-hearted, which is delightful to hear. Last week you're making up some nonsense about having a friend, and you telling us something. Obviously, you just wanted to come on and be obnoxious, and that's fine as well. But then there was a call a bit later in the week where you were a bit kind of vacant, and now you're up. What's going on with you, man?
Oh, I hadn't been listening to the show properly last week.
No, I know, and that's
I was a bit miffed.
That's not
not so much with you, but with myself.
Why were you miffed with yourself?
that if I had assumed that you'd be doing the podcast and taking calls at 11 instead of having the interview at 11, and I thought, well, that'll teach me for assuming.
But I just wonder, is something... And I know you don't like me digging around, although I think you enjoy it a little bit. But,
I do.
But last week, you made up a story about having a conversation with a friend, and I was thinking about that a lot. And obviously, you hadn't had that conversation with anyone.
I had, actually.
Okay.
And I told him, I should mention that on the Iain Lee show.
I don't... But I was a picture. Who's got a picture of me holding Frazzles? God, I look like my son there. Look at that picture. I'm going to retweet a picture. That's me at the age of about 7. I don't know if I look like my boy. Well, okay, I don't believe that you told someone that story. I think you just wanted to come on and be obnoxious, and that's kind of fine. You wanted to come on and be obnoxious, but I've just noticed there's been a real kind of wild variation in your mood recently, Jonathan. I just wondered what was going on.
Oh, I've had a busy few weeks, and sometimes it feels like there's so much to do that it gets on top of me. And when I am able to plough through most of it, I feel good.
You mentioned you were struggling with a form.
Yeah.
Did you get that done?
No, I'm doing that tomorrow, barring any interruptions.
What's the form for, can I ask?
No, because it's sub judice.
Okay. Okay, I see.
It's nothing of a criminal nature. What it is, it's...
well, if it's sub judice, don't tell us anymore. Don't tell us anymore, because I don't want anyone...
It's stuff that George Osborne does to...
Jonathan, I'm going to... okay, well, I'm going to... stop you there, because I don't want you to get into any more trouble. But it's... you said some pretty hurtful things last week.
But truthful things.
Well... No, they weren't. They were just mean. They were just mean-spirited, and it felt like I made up you were coming on to say it just because you were angry. You were really angry, is what I got from your call last week.
I had a lot on my workload to do.
Yeah,
I like to get things done as quickly as possible, so that I've got, because humans are rubbish at multitasking.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
Yeah, and I don't want to take if you're going to do something, you better do it properly. Don't try and do 5 different things at once.
Yeah, I can understand that, but your anger came out. It just came out in a really unpleasant. I mean, it was dark, man. It was really dark, and it was unpleasant. And I just think you're better than that. I know you're better than that, because you phoned up to speak to me in Elvish, you plum.
Well, look, to the untrained ear, what said may have seemed cruel, but to those who actually...
Well, and to the trained ear, no, you didn't have any. That's the thing, you didn't have any point. And normally when you come on and you argue the toss, you do better arguments than that. That was a really poor argument on your part. It wasn't weighted in anything apart from nastiness and mean-spiritedness. And you're better than that. We've had better. You've given me better runs for my money than you did with that one last week.
Well, look.
And I think you know that you let yourself down last week.
No, I didn't. It's been on my mind for a couple of years, and the conversation I had with my friends stirred it all up, because I'm very into civil liberties, and people who do things to diminish civil liberties get very short shrift with me.
Well, I don't get... people who do what? So I got distracted by a picture of me as a 7-year-old.
Oh, you pedo!
Well, no, it's a picture of me. Can you be... Can you be a pedo on yourself? I don't think so. I don't find myself particularly attractive as a 7-year-old anyway, so that's a non-starter. Still, classic Bants. Jonathan, nice to talk to you, mate. Thank you very much. 0844 499 1000.
Late night Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
0844 499 1000. Trish, stay there. I will come to you in a minute. Let's go to Julie first. Good evening, Julie.
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Julie, you loser.
Thanks. What's that for?
Oh, no, because I've just reminded everyone's saying hip, hip, hip tonight, which is wonderful. And I'd forgotten that we were going to call... We were toying with the idea of calling ourselves the late night losers. And
right.
So
okay.
that's all that is.
How do you know me so well?
Yes.
Ian.
Yes.
Robert Durst.
Sorry? Oh,
Robert
right.
Durst.
Catherine, now would be an excellent time for you to go and make a cup of tea, because we're going to... and if you're watching on Periscope, switch off, because we are going to be talking spoiler alert. We're going to say what happens at the last 30 seconds of the Robert Durst documentary series. There are 6 episodes, approximately 45 minutes each in length, and we're gonna go straight. She's gone, right, so... The last 30 seconds.
It blew my tiny little mind.
Flipping heck, Julie.
It was the best thing I've ever seen. As a denouement of something, it was just amazing.
The whole thing, right? The whole thing, right, is brilliant, right? When it turns out, right. And now I think he's been arrested since that programme on the strength of what happens in that last 30 seconds. He's been arrested. And
he's serving time for carrying firearms at the moment.
Yeah.
In a bit of an Al Capone type.
I mean, what fascinating character, and the fact
that absolutely
fascinating. He shot that guy, hacked the limbs off the body, put the torso in a suitcase, and the limbs in plastic bags, and chucked them into the river, and he got off with it. Flipping out! That is genius.
It's genius. And the thing is, it's like his lawyers, who were brilliant, because it was like, he's not saying that he didn't do it.
Yeah, he did it. He did it.
It's a different charge. And it's like, it was so clever, but I was kind of thinking, as a moral compass, I mean, I know the lawyers are
what that proves is, right, if you're a white billionaire in America, you can literally shoot a man, cut his limbs off, put them in plastic bags and chuck them in the river, and get away with it. The
thing that you can't fault is the fact that it was a sound legal case of them saying, we're not denying it. And it's like, he's just saying, really? Nobody thought about this?
Yeah. It's brilliant. But then, right, so for those, and we are going to do a spoiler alert, so maybe go away for a couple of minutes. His wife disappeared in 1982. No body was ever found. She was never found. And a good friend of his, who probably knew what happened to his wife, was murdered just as the police had reopened the investigation, right? And there's all these clues. And right in the last episode, the director finds these 2 bits of evidence that are massive clues to say that Robert Durst did it, right? Massive.
Absolutely.
She can't come in yet. Don't let Kath in yet. And the last dying minutes of the show, the director presents these bits of evidence to Robert Durst. And Robert Durst, who's, I would suggest, hey, I'm an amateur psychologist, right? An armchair quarterback. He's got Asperger's or something, hasn't he? Right?
There's something odd about him in the way his brain kind of in his thought processes don't function as a normal person.
And he's very twitchy.
No kind of morals or principles, and no...
He's cold.
Absolutely.
And he's very twitchy. And when this guy presents these 2 bits of evidence, the twitches kick in. He starts belching. He starts scratching his head. And he's all, well, you know, that's a coincidence.
And the irony being as well that he's already been warned in the previous interview by his lawyer saying, you do realise that we can hear everything you're saying because your mic is on. And then
the last 30 seconds, the interview finishes, everyone packs up, the lights go down, he walks into the bathroom, not realising his microphone is on, and he says, "What did you do, Bob? What did you do?" "I killed them all. I killed them all." Oh, can!
Of course.
Of course.
I killed them all. The game's up now. Of course, I killed them all.
God, and I'm getting goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps now thinking about it. What a brilliant ending to a show.
You're the only person I know who's seen it that I could say, I'm so like, oh my God, what was it like at the end? And in fact, what I did was I was telling my dad about it, and I made him sit down and watch the last 10 minutes, having caught him up, because it is so amazing. It's so unbelievable. It's great.
Honey, who started contributing to the show now, and when she phoned in when Mike Love was on, she's just tweeted me, I watched the Jinx a few weeks ago and it changed me. I think I know what she means. I think it's changed me.
Definitely.
In the way that I look at people, in the way that I think, in the way... it's such a powerful 5.5 hours of television.
I watched it straight. I watched it in a day because it was so absorbing. I mean, I like kind of, whodunits, crime drama things anyway, but I think that you kind of think, right, I'm going to make my own decision about this, and you think, it looks like he did it, but
it looks like he did it,
maybe he's unlucky, and you try and keep an open mind. And also, I think there's an emphasis on the fact that when he was young, his dad showed him his mother committing suicide.
Yeah.
And you think maybe that's why. But you think, hang on a minute, that can't be an excuse for the way he is. Surely that wouldn't. How much has that defined him?
And
just unbelievable.
His beautiful wife.
But yet he still carries around a photo. And whereas I was thinking that's quite sweet, now I'm thinking no, he's just doing it as a trophy. It does change your perception of things because you think, what a wicked man.
It's good, wasn't it? It's good. The thing is now...
The handwriting.
Yeah, oh, man. The thing is now I want more. I don't really know... Can I tell you what put me off it, right? The director's beard. Andrew Jarecki's beard. And his sideburns. Kath can come in now. We won't be almost... His sideburns, they weren't level. They were pointing up. They were like Shatner's sideburns.
I didn't notice that.
Oh, I did. His beard annoyed me, and his sideburns. Really, someone else must know what really put me off him.
I thought you were going to say you were looking at people's glasses to see if they had.
And also,
or not.
On a technical point of view, right, purely from someone who's made television programmes, right?
Yeah.
They had the whole day before in that hotel room to set up the interview, right, and rehearse it. How come the interview looked it was so badly shot? All of the camera angles, they had 3 cameras in there. All of the camera angles were awful. They were awful.
Absolutely.
You couldn't get a proper shot in there.
I think it was, to me, it was almost like it was made to be. You know when you see clips of police interview rooms, where it's maybe up in the top right-hand corner or something? I wondered if they were doing it.
They ballsed it up. You never have 2 people sat like that at a table, and in a long, narrow room like that. It was just they should have taken that table out. The table should not have been there. Anyway, I'm getting caught up.
Can I just ask your opinion on one thing?
Yes.
So,
hang on a second. Are you going to do a spoiler alert? Because Kath is...
No. But specifically, when they found what they did, and obviously they held on to it, do you not think that they had an obligation
to go to the cops?
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that a bit weird, actually, that they decided to sit on it.
I mean, I know they showed whoever she was, maybe district attorney or whatever it was. But I was kind of thinking, I don't know if it's kind of, they were thinking, this would make a great documentary.
Yeah, they were totally thinking of the story.
And
and also I guess they were. They could argue that they were concerned that the coppers would muff it up and drop the ball again.
Absolutely.
I thought that. They're going to go to the police now. Oh no, they're planning on how they're going to incorporate this evidence that pretty much proves something or other by how they're going to incorporate it into the documentary.
I mean, they must have been rubbing their hands when it happened. It's like it's almost too good to be true as a. As a finish to something. But he's supposed to start a trial in the next couple of days in California.
I found it inspiring. I found it really... Two things have really inspired me recently. One was that, and one was the Scroobius Pip book. Scroobius Pip coming on the show. He's coming on Wednesday. Coming in the studio on Wednesday.
Brilliant.
And I was just listening to the interview we did with Limmy. Oh, it's so sweary. I had to turn the volume down, even though the kids were asleep.
I've only just started that one.
Yeah.
I want to save them up for a little bit.
Yeah, I've only just started, and there are about 140 of them. And even though the kids were asleep, I had to turn the volume down because it was just so sweary. And do you know what? Sometimes it's great to hear two men swearing, with such freedom and abandon.
The Gail Porter one's brilliant, the interview with her.
Yeah, Gail's. I've met Gail a few times. I met her years and years ago when she was, Gail Porter, the starlet.
Yeah.
And I think we did a mean show on her where I was the voice. I was the voice of. That was it. It was a comedy lab for Channel 4 called Vent. And it was a ventriloquist dummy interviewing people, and it was her and Uri Geller. It was quite a good idea, actually. It wasn't that good, its execution, but it's quite good. And I was the voice of the ventriloquist dummy. And I think Gail Porter got upset. And I've met her maybe a couple of years ago on Sky. And she's so... she's just, really lovely. And, and has been through so much. And... I like Gail Porter, actually.
He does some amazing podcasts. And sometimes I don't listen to the ones that maybe I'm not aware of the names of, but I've started to do that. But when you look at something, you think, I don't know. But he's absolutely fantastic as a broadcaster and very relatable, I think.
Yeah. Well, Julie, it'll be on Wednesday, and you should be able to watch it on Periscope. I'm thinking about Periscope up. We'll see how that goes. And then I'm going to go and meet him next week and go on his podcast, which is a great thrill, because I was just reading through all the names of the people that he's had. Flippin' heck. Right. 0844. You can come back now, by the way, guys. We finished the Jinx spoilers. It really is a great series. Really... Oh, that was it. I was sort of saying it's inspired me to want to tell stories. Me and Kath got some brilliant ideas for some documentaries up our sleeve, which may end up here or end up somewhere else. I don't know yet. But we got some brilliant ideas for some documentaries that we're going to work on. But it made me want to tell stories, man. Anyway, Tris, you're going to be next. Sorry, you've been waiting for absolutely ages. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio. We'll get you talking.
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. You can call in about pretty much anything. I'm not going to do a little recap because honestly I don't remember what we've talked about. Tris!
Hip, hip, hip.
Hip, 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 Tris. What you got for us, boss?
We were talking about Shanktonbury Ring, yeah, the other week.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, well, I live about 5 to 10 minutes away from there, right?
Mate, go down there. Go down there now. Can you go there now? Can you go there now and phone us now? Can you go there now in the dark and phone us now in the dark now? Can you go there now and phone us in the dark now?
No, but I used to live right, and my bedroom, right over the way from it, and my bedroom used to look out on it overnight. Okay, and you do see lights and stuff like that up there, man.
But that's just stoners trying to go and levitate.
Yeah, and dog walkers.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's an interesting place to visit. You're getting the right vibe at night. It's quite spooky.
Have you? Because we were talking about this. Hang on a second. Let me just set the scene. Hang on a second. We were talking about it because of where is it? Hang on a minute. Is this it?
Love does that make me dirty?
That's the incorrect. We're talking about because of this.
So much in our universe just cannot be explained, but just cannot be ignored. Events and phenomena, past and present, defy so-called rational explanation. How much do we really know, and how much are we allowed to know? Now, week by week, a new publication examines new evidence and explores the theories. The unexplained at newsagents now.
Yeah, we go, because of that. And Clanctonbury Ring is mentioned in there, where some men...
It's where that bloke was held off the ground, wasn't it?
He was levitated, and someone broke a chain, a crucifix as well, by the devil.
Scary stuff, isn't it?
But you never got tugged off by the devil or nothing?
No, I just saw some lights.
Yeah, oh, man.
Dappling through the trees, you know what I mean?
Could use the word dappling there. That's disappointing. Well, I want to go to some of the... We're going to a haunted boozer on Halloween.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to do a show live from a haunted boozer.
That'll be fun.
Well, but just supposing, right? Just supposing we prove that ghosts are real. That might happen.
I mean, that'll get you listeners, wouldn't it?
Yeah. That might actually happen. Because now I'm all open-minded about this stuff. I'm more open to the spirits.
But doesn't open-mindedness mean that your standard of evidence goes down?
Oh, significantly. Oh, sure. Yeah.
What would swing it for you?
Like a noise in another room. We'd probably do it. A light dappling through the trees, something like that would probably be enough. I think to me these days. I don't know.
It's something to aspire to, though, isn't it?
I tell you what, Tris, I know I've had a crappy day, and I'm enjoying the show tonight, no end. I've had a crappy day. I got the phone call from the council today about me mum. And they're gonna move her. Thanks, guys. It was a really...
I was hoping that wasn't going to happen, mate.
Yeah,
but,
I know.
You know.
I kind of... and there are a few things I can do, but do you know what? They've kicked the fight out of me, and all the few things will do... They'll just drag things out a bit longer. So I had this woman phone up. Well, Mr. Lee, we want to talk about the options moving forward. Oh, the options moving forward. I was thinking, right, there are no options, and I was biting my tongue, right? Because she phoned me up, and I knew it was going to be. And before I phoned her back, I did the Serenity Prayer, right? The Serenity Prayer just gets you in the God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And I just had that little mantra going, right? And we want to talk about the options for your mother going forward. Now, we are unable to meet the financial demands that Leonard Cheshire Disability are asking. They have only they've only compromised their price by £100, so we need to look at alternative arrangements. Right, silence. Right, I thought, right, I'm not saying anything. So we need to look at other places for your mum. I said, right, so you're going to move an old sick woman. Not even that old, actually. You're going to move a sick woman out of a home she's lived in for 8 years. Yes, I'm afraid we're going to have to do that. Right. She has spent 300... Get this, guys. Here's the maths. She has she's paid £325,000, right, over the 8 years to stay in that place, and has effectively subsidised other residents there. And I said, and you're gonna move her. Yeah? You're happy with that. Now, listen, I realise, before people start having a pop at me, I realise I'm arguing with the wrong person. There is no person that will take responsibility. This woman is just doing her job.
But it's human nature to lash out, though, mate.
Yeah, it is. And I did. Do you know what? And I really held my temper well. Didn't swear at her. I got angry, but I didn't shout and I didn't swear at her, and I'm proud of that. And I you know the dealings I had with this woman earlier. I have no need to go back and apologise to this woman, but she was just on autopilot. And I said, "You're reading a script." She said, "I'm not reading a script." I said, "No, not literally, but you're just you have broken this woman down into numbers and spreadsheets." That's all she is to you, is numbers and spreadsheets. She is not a human being that's going to be moved out of her home where her friends live to another home. And she says, and then this woman goes, right, are there any homes near you? I said, I don't know. I don't know. She said, well, maybe you could look into it. I said, well, I will look into it, but can you guarantee if there's a home near me, she'll go into it? She said, no, we can't. I said, right. What you will do is you will find the cheapest home anywhere in the county. I'm hoping it's in the county. Please, God, don't someone tell me it might be out of the county. I said, you will find the cheapest home in the county and you will put her in there, won't you? She went, yes, in all likelihood, that's what we'll do. I went, right. And then she said, if you want, Mr. Lee, I can hear you're getting very upset. I can get my manager to call you. And I said, what's the point? What's the point of getting your manager to call me? He's going to say the same thing. And and I said, do you know what? I'm ending this conversation because I will start shouting and swearing, and I don't want to do that. None of us will benefit from that. And then we said our goodbyes, and I think that she might be phoning me tomorrow. Then she did this line. She goes, "Oh, well, if the care home did care so much about your mum as you keep saying they do, then they'd be able to reduce their price even more." So then I phoned up the care home.
Oh, that's an unfair statement.
That was nasty. That was really mean. Really mean. And I thought, how dare you? But then I phoned up the care home, and I did go mental at the care home, and I said, this is outrageous. And they've started backtracking. Well, Ian, I've not spoken to the finance manager. That's not anything to do with us. That's the finance manager. I'll send her an email, and I'll speak to her tomorrow, and I'll call you back and we'll give you the latest. I said, I know what the latest is. The latest is you have all washed your hands of her because of money, and she's going to get moved somewhere. And you know what? That'll probably kill her. That'll probably kill her, guys. Thanks a lot. She's a woman who has got MS and has dementia-like symptoms and gets completely confused about what flipping day it is, whether her husband who divorced her is alive or dead. A number of times she says, "When's your dad coming to visit me?" "Mum, you divorced about 25 years ago and he's dead."
Man.
And they're going to move that woman out of her home to Christ knows where. Nice work, guys. Well done, Bucks County Council. Well done, Leonard Cheshire Disability. Well done, guys.
I mean, the problem is the older we get and the less we can contribute to society, the less important we become.
Well, she spaffed off 325 grand. They've got all the money they can out of her.
They've got the money now, mate.
And here's the thing, and I did go big when someone from the care home nicked money from her. I never mentioned the time that one of the carers inserted a finger in her. Oh, do you know what? I know, right? That actually happened, right? And I bit my tongue, right? And the care home talked me out of going public about that. They talked me down from it. And I didn't go and say anything about it because I didn't want to cause problems for my mum. And I thought, well, if we just keep our head down a bit, when it gets to this financial situation, well, that's going to keep us in good stead. What a load of old rubbish that was.
Yeah. Is there an appeals process?
Not really. They're not. I mean, no. I can do stuff like write to the MP, and Dominic Grieve is her local MP, and he's a really good egg. But it comes down to numbers, Tris. It comes down to numbers, and
it does. But all avenues, mate. You got to.
I don't think I can, Tris. I don't think I can. I don't think I can. They have. The fight has totally gone from me.
Yeah, but it's your mum's fight. It's your mum's fight that she can't do herself.
I can't do it. I can't do it. And it gets back to that serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. And I don't think I can change this, and I need to accept it. Otherwise, it is going to eat me up, Tris. It's going to eat me up. And I feel like I've failed as a son. I have failed her because she's going to get moved to God knows where, man. God knows where. And it's going to...
mate, the thing is, you love her and you've fought for her.
Well...
And, you have.
I dropped the ball on this one, Tris. I dropped the ball on this one, and I cannot fix this. Well, up yours, Bucks County Council, and up yours, Leonard Cheshire Disability. Jesus, what bunch of arses. Anyway, fun times. 0844 499 1000.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Talk Radio.
0844 499 1000. Mike, you'll be next up after the news. You can give us a call as well about pretty much anything that you want. Oh, hey, Bros are reforming. Oh, for crying out loud. Really? I'm Iain Lee. This is Talk Radio.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
It's a little worse. Perhaps things are getting better, but how can one be so sure? So I will take it slowly so that I can rest assured. Wait until tomorrow goes away. In the evening when I wake up, I would
I was doing some of those voices. Mike!
Hiya.
Hip, 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 Mike!
I never say that. Sorry. Hip, hip, hip.
Oh, I see.
It's not intentional. It's unintentional.
Okay. No, that's fine. That's fine. That's
I've said it now.
Yeah,
I've said it
you said it begrudgingly.
I didn't, honestly. No, I said it regretfully that I didn't say in the first place.
If we still did topics, which we don't do topics. I don't know why the topics don't work here, so I don't really do topics. But if we did topics, a great topic would be things you've had to say begrudgingly. No, hang on. Things you don't not have to. Things you've said begrudgingly because you had to say them. Call me now, 0844 499 1000. It'll be stuff like, I do. You know, stuff like that. That kind of stuff. Where, you know, when my boys fight, right, I always get them to apologise. I said, come on, guys, you're brothers, right? And your brothers fight and you hate, but deep down you love each other. Now, you go and say sorry to him. And what they do is they won't even look at them. They'll just look the other way and go, sorry. I said, no, come on, go over, just stand in front of him. Right, now you look, no, he's going to say sorry, look at him. And then I end up fighting with both of them. But the begrudging way in which a child says sorry when he's forced to say sorry. Oh, because the other one tickled his willy. I mean, guys. Anyway, sorry, Mike, what have you called him for?
No, that's kids, isn't it?
That's
my
kids.
little girl threw some M&Ms in my face and then only said sorry because she wanted the Freddo that was hers. The M&Ms were mine, the Freddo was hers. She wanted the M&Ms. I said, no, they've got peanuts in them. Yeah. She threw them in my face.
Wow.
But she didn't mean this, sorry. There's two things. Two. First of all, ghosts exist. That was proved by the 1992 documentary Ghostwatch.
Yes, with the sorely missed Mike Smith.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he died. He died about a year ago, mate.
I don't know why I said that because I don't know who Mike Smith is or was.
Mike Smith was the husband of Sarah Green. Smitty. He used to fly a helicopter. Mates with Noel Edmonds.
I know. Sarah Green went to Hull University, right?
She was in the Swish of the Curtain. That's what made her famous. And then she went on to Blue Peter.
But no, she did Live and Kicking, didn't she?
Well, yeah, she did. No, she didn't do Live and Kicking. That was who was that woman? Fiona somebody.
Going Live. That's what I meant.
Yeah. Well, that was. There was Zoe Ball did one of them.
No, that was Live and Kicking. Going Live was the precursor.
Not Emma Freud. I'm thinking of the
the
woman.
That's weird.
Hang on, the daughter of Nanette Newman.
It wasn't there. It's not Emma Willis, is it?
Emma somebody, the daughter of Nanette Newman. I met Nanette Newman on a train once. With the person that was with a young. We're going up to Leeds, and I was with a young man who later became the head of Covent Garden. Emma Forbes. Thank you very much.
That's it. She's not age. Google her. It's dead freaky.
But let's do it. Let's listen, Mike. Let's do the list. Right, the girls have gone to bed. Let's get blokey. All right. Let's get. Hang on a minute. Let me find some. I want to find some blokey music. We're going to have a blokey section. A blokes only for the last hour. 0844 499 1000. No birds. We're going to get blokey. We're going to talk girls and we're going to talk cars and we're going to talk video games. And I'm sorry, I don't even apologise. Let me get some really blokey music. Hang on a second.
I'm drinking tea out of a chipped mug.
Good lad.
Hello?
No, that's not it.
Hello?
No, hang on.
Hello?
No.
George, you're a fanny.
That's closer. I want some. Hang on, let me go to my iTunes. We're going to get some really blokey music. Go to songs.
I've been to the gym tonight. That's blokey as well.
Here we go. This is blokey.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.
No, that's Alicia Keys. It's not blokey.
Yeah, she's fit though, isn't she?
Yeah.
That was.
Hang on, here we go. Blokey. No.
Have you got any Mike and the Mechanics? I don't even know any of their songs. I bet it's blokey though.
Yeah, I bet it is. Hang on, let's find. There we go. This is blokey. 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 Guitars. Here we go. Blokey. Welcome to the blokey bit of the show. Oh, for God's sakes.
No.
Here we go. Here we go. I don't know what that is. Here we go. Here's some geezers. Geezers! Yeah! Actual...
making music.
Actual geezers. Here we go. There's geezers. It's the bloke's hour.
You've got an unusual sense of what's manly, Ian. I'm not going to lie to you.
Sorry?
You've got an unusual sense of what clarifies what's manly music.
You know that the Bee Gees had more than you could throw a stick at. I mean, fair play, there were three of them, so, divided by three, it might even up a bit.
I'm not surprised by that. But there is a movie, there is a TV, well, there's two movies worse than the one you mentioned earlier about the radiation.
What, Threads?
Yeah, there's two things worse than that.
I bet there's not. Go on.
Well, one, I think you have to have seen it. So maybe it was just me, I don't know why, but the end scene of this movie was so intense, it stuck with me for years. Even now I can't watch it, which is the last 5 minutes of the movie Requiem for a Dream. Have you ever seen it?
Sounds a bit like a girls' movie, mate. What the hell is that about?
Requiem for a Dream.
Requiem and Dream are girls' worlds.
No, well, it's not. It all starts off with Jared Leto, Jennifer Connelly, Marlon Wayans, and Jared Leto's mum, whose name I forget. They're all kind of taking drugs, and it starts off, and it's a bit of a hoot. Yeah. And it just ends in the bleakest. They're all alive, but it's so bleak.
Is it as bleak?
Really intense music.
Is it as bleak as Flatliners?
I've not seen Flatliners. If I have, no, I can't remember Flatliners. I think I saw that when I was under 10.
Flatliners, when when Kiefer Sutherland and some other people from the 80s want to know what it's like to die and what's
I know
on
the
the other
premise.
side.
They're remaking it, I think.
Oh, good. Hopefully with the same cast. I have no idea what you've just typed on the screen, Catherine. That means nothing. She typed, "Hey, Fifth Faith." Is that a phrase from it? I don't know what that means. I haven't seen it for years. I started watching Flatliners the other day, and about 30 seconds in, I went, "Nah, this ain't going to stand the test of time."
And there's another movie which I would rather watch Threads than watch this movie, which is what I watched this Saturday, which was Independence Day Resurgence.
Is it good?
No, it is possibly. I loved the first one. I loved it. I think it was about 12. Yeah. No, I was probably about 12. Yeah, about 20 years ago. I got so excited. I got the premiere. My auntie bought me the premiere seats in the cinema. It was just terrible. It was to a point where can I do a spoiler? Is it all right?
Yeah, I'm not going to watch it. Spoiler alert, guys.
Where this ship comes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man.
Right, like an alien from the Alien.
Yeah. Yeah.
50 foot tall with arranged.
Yeah. It sounds rubbish. It sounds rubbish.
Oh no, it's like fundamentally terrible. And I was so excited. I was really upset, to be honest.
I think who was the girl that did the second series of Robot Wars?
Philippa Forrester.
Yeah, I liked her.
In fact, she's on Twitter, but it's under a dead obscure name, and she's got about 100, 200 followers.
It's the way it goes of TV presenters of that. I'm not
one.
What?
You know a TV presenter who I've always wondered what happened to her. Daisy. Daisy Donovan.
I don't know her because I've not seen her for. When did the 11 o'clock show end?
2001.
Yeah, I've not seen her for 15 years. Here's the thing, guys. We didn't get on that well.
Really?
We got on all right, but we did.
I thought you kind of just know, like. I don't know. I just thought you'd know. I think that was.
TV is fake, Mike. It's fake. We got on quite well, but by the end of the show, my ego was running crazy. I'm guessing she might have had a bit of an ego as well. I know I certainly was nuts. We went in our separate ways, and we haven't seen each other since. We've not even bumped into each other by accident. But I'm sure she's, she pops up in things from time to time. I often wonder about Daisy and I know who she's married to, but I wonder what she's up to work-wise, because she was funny. She's made me laugh a lot.
She had her own show on Channel 4. It was quite good, but I know you can't trust people in the media. Someone in the media told me a barefaced lie a long time ago.
Who told you a barefaced lie?
Well, actually, I think you mentioned it as a topic last week where I met Danny Wallace in a train station in Leeds, and the only thing I had for him to sign, I love Danny Wallace at this point, him and Dave Gorman, this precursor to smartphones. The only thing I had was a postcard, so I got him to write on the postcard, which I sent to myself.
What?
But...
Why did you send it to yourself?
Because I thought it'd be fun and kitsch. And
No, it's a little bit crazy, actually. That's a bit crazy. Yeah.
I am a wacky guy. Anyone will tell you that. I'm the wacky guy.
I get that vibe.
But I said to him, oh, what are you working on? I think this was, I can't remember exactly when, but...
Hang on a second, because the music has stopped, right? Can I just bring in some more geezer music?
Yeah, more geezer
Here we go.
this time.
Geezers! Geezers!
Oh, very geezery.
Go marching in.
Really amped up now.
Oh no, it's the Black and White Minstrels. We can't play those. Sorry, guys. Although here's the question, right? It's the 1960s equivalent of if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one here, does it make a noise, right?
Mm.
If the Black and White Minstrels are in a recording studio, do they black up? I bet they wouldn't, which means the records aren't racist.
It depends, because presumably it's like getting into a persona, isn't it? So that's like wearing your work clothes. I'm going to say it's a 50-50 split.
But 50-50 split, I don't think we can say that these days. Kiss don't wear their makeup in the studio.
Don't like Gene Simmons, just putting that out there.
I don't like Gene Simmons as well.
Have you met him?
Yeah, he was horrible, actually. He was really rude to my mate. And sexually rude to my mate, and I let him be sexually rude to my mate, and hiding in plain sight, and I wish I'd said something to him.
I saw two men be sexually inappropriate to a girl on a pavement at 1 o'clock yesterday morning, so I stopped my car and told them to F off.
Well done, Mike. Well done, you.
Well, I was in a pickup truck, so I just looked hard.
One of my big regrets is I didn't say to Gene Simmons, "Oi, mate, that's out of order," and we would have lost the interview. But hey ho, I'd have kept my pride.
He'd have beat you off. He looks really hard.
No, he's not. He's not at all.
Have you ever met people nice in Kiss?
Sorry?
Are the other people nice who are in Kiss?
I spoke to Peter Criss, the Catman, on the phone, and he was very nice. And I interviewed Paul Stanley, and he was a little bit guarded. I mean, Gene was great in an interview, but just going up the stairs to the interview, he had his hand up my mate's skirt and stuff, and I should have said something. Paul Stanley was all right, and I've yet to interview Ace.
There's still time. Can I mention one thing? I need to go to school. There's one thing, dead quick, which you put me onto, and I think I've made a mistake.
Uh-oh.
You're not allowed to talk about this.
By the way, 08444991000, by the way, guys, because once Mike goes, the switchboard is empty. Go on.
I should have done this. I thought, all right, I've never listened to these Beach Boys, and I heard you mention the album Holland.
Yeah.
The first track, Sailor, my goodness.
Sail on Sailor?
It sounded so good. Then the album's so brilliant. I daren't move off of it because I'm scared none of the other albums will be that good.
Mate, you've hang on a second. You've got. Listen, if you're digging that, then you're like a couple of the other albums from that period. Why is my computer? Oh, look, I'm trying to be all smart, and my computer's gone to cock. Hang on. You're talking about this, aren't you? This is what you're talking about. Here we go. Hang on. Computer, obey me. Play.
Yeah.
I sailed an ocean, unsettled ocean, through restful waters and deep commotion, often tired, uninspired. Sail on, sail on, sailor. I left the seaways sail. Hear the singing and the ringing and the singing of my sailing. Down the thunder, it's no wonder, all I'm under. A bit wobbly on this bit. Feel the singing and the singing and the dying and the crying. Sail on, sail on, sail on. There's another 2 minutes of that. There's another 2 minutes of that, Mike, and I really...
I even enjoyed you singing that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Not that you're a bad singer, but...
I got good
voice. Beach by the Summit, was it?
Yeah, thank you, Mike. I'm going to fade you out there because it sounded like you were saying the song was better than my voice, which is rude and incorrect, actually. But yeah, thanks. 0844 499 1000.
Late night conversation worth losing sleep over.
Iain Lee.
On air and off the leash.
On Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Wow, being called a fake Beach Boys fan on Twitter by Honey. Because apparently I don't know the lyrics to Sail On Sailor. Well, they are a little bit repetitive. That was good singing, though. That was my proper. Oh no! Don't pull that face because
I'm not doing a face.
You're doing a face. That was my proper singing voice.
Gosh.
I'm gonna move the camera.
Grace
down.
Dent enjoyed it.
Well, she's a woman of great taste. Oh, she thought it was rubbish, did she?
No. She said he's doing it again, and you certainly
beautifully.
were doing it again.
I can sing that one. I've got that one.
Oh no.
It's order. I won't. But that was my proper.
Yeah.
That was my proper singing voice.
You were giving it 6 now.
And it is one of those great questions in life.
When will it stop?
No. What if instead of going the way of being an entertainer and a little bit more than that, it sounds so pretentious, but a spiritual guru, giving hope to young men and women, and old men and women, and transgender, blacks, Asians, the Chinese.
Okay, yeah, we get it, everyone.
Not the Filipinos.
Why? They're really good singers.
But I give them inspiration. And, I've tweeted a little bit of fun. I tweeted some pictures of me as a young boy. Growing up on the Britwell estate, we didn't have much. Didn't have much at all. Now look at me. I'm singing half of the words to a 45-year-old song on a crappy digital station that can't even be bothered to advertise itself, so nobody's listening. There's literally 60 people watching on Periscope and about 8 people listening online, and that's it.
And we're grateful for each and every one of them.
And if I could do that, then you, dear listener, could achieve that as well.
Did you not know all the words? Couldn't tell.
I covered it well.
Show business, that, isn't it?
I remember the first artist I was ever aware of using, not that I saw them, I read it. It was a big scandal in the 80s that Frank Sinatra came over and was using the auto cue. Big scandal. I remember thinking, but now they all use it. All the older ones
Dusty
do.
Springfield used to write it on her hands.
What?
The lyrics.
All of the words to all of her songs in the concert.
I used to work with a woman who said to me,
all of the songs?
Not all the songs. Some of the ones she couldn't remember.
Well, Preacher Man, I can remember that, so she wouldn't have had to write the words to that. Although she would have to learn it.
She could have written them down each finger, each song. But
very long fingers.
Very big hands.
Yeah.
And the woman I remember working with, who was about 60 at the time, she went, of course, she had very big hands.
Yeah.
Because she was a lesbian. I thought,
is that a trait?
I don't think that goes together.
Lesbianism? Well, we've been racist and homophobic in the last 2 minutes.
No, that was a
between us.
character being...
Still useful, though. Big fingers. 0844.
More lyrics.
No, I meant...
I know what you meant. I'm trying us to not get sacked just this once.
Okay, well, you know.
Anyway, so lots of lyrics.
0844 499 1000 is the telephone number if you want to give us a call. But I do wonder how... I do wonder how different my life would have been if I'd have chosen to have focused on the singing more than the talking. I mean, they're both my voice, both using my voice, both creating emotion with my voice.
Yeah, there's definitely an emotion.
Powerful emotion. And I just wonder, could I have touched more people if I'd have sang instead?
In what way?
Oh, you know what way. Oh, you know.
In every way.
You know. Yeah. Deep inside. Could I have touched more people deep inside if I'd have been a singer than just a talker?
No. I'd say in no way.
We'll never know. We won't know this.
We will know. We know.
Well,
we know.
Do we?
Yeah, after the last 10 minutes, we know.
I would have.
We wouldn't have.
Yeah.
No.
Happy Tree's on the line. Good evening, Happy Tree.
Well, you know something, Ian, the road is long, with many a winding turn.
Here we go.
That leads... No, I'm not going to go into that. I was going to talk about old people in care homes, but actually you've led me onto a more interesting and uplifting pathway. And I've made the decision to change what I was going to say, and therefore I have changed the universe that I'm in. Yeah. So you're aware of the many worlds.
But maybe, Happy Tree, you were always going to change it, and you were never going to talk about old people in care homes. So perhaps you haven't changed the universe.
Well, then I'll go back. And I'll double back on my choice.
Well, but maybe you were always going to double back on your choice, and you haven't changed anything.
Oh no! So which one would I have done if we hadn't said this? Oh. Well, my question about the many worlds hypothesis is what constitutes a choice? Because they say, you decide to do one thing and not another thing, so there is another you in another universe that branches off and does the thing you were originally going to do. Huh? And then the you that is the one that you think you are, you go down the choice. Yeah. But what constitutes a choice? I mean...
There is no such thing as choice. Here's the thing,
so
right? Because
one universe.
No, time travel is possible, right? Time travel is inherently possible, right? We can definitely go back in time, and I strongly believe that we can go forward in time, and that everything happens. Everything everything is an echo backwards and forwards. Right? If I say enough words, eventually I'll say something that means something. But basically, I don't think you can't change the future. You can't change.
I think it was Richard Feynman who proved or showed that the collapse of the electron orbital into a particle, and from its potential into a particle, it actually does send waves like backwards in time.
Yeah.
So you might be onto something there.
I'm finding that time is really dragging all of a sudden.
Yeah, I've got that vibe. Yes.
So well done, guys, for proving that.
Absolutely, that's literally our pleasure. That's what we're here for. 0844 499 1000. This is Talk Radio.
Greetings, Earthlings. We come in peace. We wish to communicate with your leader.
I'm Howard Hughes. Join me this Sunday night from 10 for a trip into the outer limits.
Untwist the lid on Talk Radio's specimen jar of the psychic, the supernatural, and the simply unexplainable.
The Unexplained with Howard Hughes. Sunday night from 10. Earth time on Talk Radio.
Across the UK, online and on DAB.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Interesting trolling of me on Twitter by someone who should know better. I'm not going to say any more than that because I'm not going to rise to the bait. But
she's one of my favourites.
It's trolling. It's internet bullying. It's true. And it has been noted. It has been noted.
Yeah.
And
favourited.
And I've let it. And you have as well. Unbelievable. I've let it go.
Good.
Well, I've not. When I say let it go, it's stored in the old bank, not that bank. It's stored in a bank, a memory bank, a hate-filled memory bank.
The Book of Grievances.
It's
That's actually become a ring binder just for ease.
I've had to buy an external hard drive to store all the data on it. But it's been stored, it's been noted, and our paths will cross, and it'll be uncomfortable. 0844 499 1000 is the telephone number. I see that Bros are getting back together.
Oh,
I also
good.
see that
I wasn't a Bros girl.
one of them is on Paul Ross tomorrow or something. I don't know. I had a run-in with one of Bros. I don't like Bros.
Which one? Luke was the one that didn't and then did.
I think it was Matt. I was interviewed him on Radio 4 on Loose Ends, and he didn't like the introduction because I mentioned Bros.
Oh.
And as I did this introduction, which I thought was quite a good introduction about bottle tops and boots and things like that.
Well, they did it. They started it.
He looked to his manager in the thing and went... He went... He said something.
Gosh, how rude.
And then I thought, do you know what? We're not going to mention your new single until right at the very end of this interview. That's so childish of me. And I didn't. The last 30 seconds said, oh, by the way, I believe you got a new single out. Good luck with that. Back to you, Ned. And then afterwards he came up to me and had a go at me. He said, what was that about? What was that all about? I said, what are you talking about? He said that was the... He said during the interview, it was the worst introduction I've ever had.
Gosh, I don't believe that.
Yeah, I don't believe that. You remember when they tried to sell out Wembley Stadium?
No.
Do you know they tried to sell out Wembley Stadium, Bros, right? Of course they couldn't. Ideas way above their station. So they kept adding acts to the bill, right?
What, if you don't like us, you might like this?
Yeah. Do you know how they got to compare at Wembley Stadium?
Go on.
Frank Sidebottom.
Oh.
Frank Sidebottom compared at Bros. And he told a brilliant story. I'll get it wrong, but it was something like... so Frank Sidebottom at Wembley Stadium, and he'd go out and he'd go, scream if you like Bros. And he'll scream if you like Matt. Scream if you like Luke. Scream if you like Craig. Scream if you like Betamax. Oh, I miss Chris. Chris and Frank would be... What a joy there would be to have him on this show.
I never liked Bros. I think I must have had a vibe. I was more of an aha girl.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I am. Pop duo Bros are returning with a new European. They're always
good. Celebratory.
They're always. Oh yeah, this is good.
Excellent.
But I did say one of them was an idiot to me.
I'm sure he's not now.
No, I'm sure they're great guys. Great guys. One of them rocked up at LBC and pushed Steve Allen up against the wall as well. No, to punch him.
Oh right.
Yeah. I mean. It's just Bros. In the great scheme of things, Tough Man now, if they come in, I'll be, oh yeah, all right, Bros. In the great scheme of pop, they were
pretend Michael Jacksons.
Twins Matt and Luke Goss, 47. They're not just 4 years older than me, are they? Were adored by teens across the country.
Not
when
this
they first
teen,
shot
they
to
weren't.
fame in 1987. But debts and savage infighting, so the middle-aged pop stars were about to...
Gosh.
Bass player Craig Logan, who was always called Ken the bass player in Viz. Do you remember that? They always called him Ken the bass player. Will not be joining the pair for the reunion. But every couple of years, it's announced that Bros are coming back.
Yeah.
I like bands reuniting.
Yeah, but they can't expect to have the same successes. It's not their turn anymore, is it?
No, but it's I do dig the nostalgia thing.
When's Big Fun coming back?
Didn't they die? I know the London Boys died.
Yeah.
I thought one of Big Fun...
Let me just check it out.
I remember walking down the stairs at this place once and had a door held open for me by Richie Wormeling. Do you remember Richie Wormeling?
Yeah, what was he in? 911?
No.
The other one.
He had guitar. He had a guitar, Richie Wormeling.
Was that the one? Crazy for you.
Not Check 1 2. That was Craig McLaughlin's band.
Oh,
Craig
excellent.
McLaughlin and the Underpants.
When's he coming back?
Richie Wormeling. Oh, what band?
They're not dead. But they've had a swap.
Okay.
I mean, of personnel, not anything else. Richie Wormeling. I know that. I mean, I've got a bad surname, and I would change that if I was
Richie
going to be famous.
Wormeling.
But Wormeling.
I don't want to Google it.
Shall I?
No. It began with a T. It was 2 words. Began with a T, not tight fit. Oh, Richie Wormeling. I remember seeing him. He's on the coming down. He held the door open for me.
No,
I don't want to say that. Richie Wormeling.
He was a heartthrob, wasn't he?
Yes,
Despite
mate.
the surname.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, they were big.
Not Go West.
No.
We close our eyes.
We close our eyes. My favourite TV programme ever was Reborn in the USA.
Yeah.
With Davina McCall. And it was 80s pop stars.
Yeah, wasn't it Hadley and all that lot?
It was Hadley, and they were taken to the United
Sonia.
States, where they weren't big. Now, the problem was, the guy from Then Jericho went nuts, and he got booted off. He got really arsey, and he got booted off. So then they replaced him with the bloke from Go West, who was big in the States.
Peter.
Big Pete. Pete West. And it was good. It was Sonia. And they all. I was doing Rise at the time. Elkie Brooks was on there.
Was it Tiffany? Was Tiffany?
No. She was on that Saturday evening. She was on a different programme where it was set in England. This was in America, and they all came on the Rise that I was doing at the time. So we had Hadley, we had Elkie Brooks, we had Paul Young? Paul Young might have been on there. Go West. Let Loose.
Oh, Let Loose.
Let Loose. I remember.
I was right
that.
though. Crazy for you.
Yeah, you were. 0844 499 1000.
Late night, Iain Lee on Talk Radio.
We have ways of making you talk.
Dennis!
Good morning, Iain.
Good morning, Dennis.
You were looking for a fella called Peter Knight, weren't you?
Turn your radio
Earlier
off.
on.
Turn your radio off. All right. Peter Knight.
Sorry. You were looking for a fella called Peter Knight, weren't you?
I'm going to look to my show historian.
No.
Okay.
We're talking about Go West. He's not called Peter Knight, is he?
Peter Knight. Who's Peter Knight, Dennis?
Well, I have to do every night.
What? Peter?
Peter Knight.
Night.
Peter Knight. What? You mean urinate two nights?
Mm.
Is that well, your material? I mean, listen. I know you're nearly 100 and you've not got much, many weeks to go. But
Cox.
What?
Peter Cox.
Oh, for goodness sakes! Dennis, your material is very, very flimsy tonight.
I know it is, but I mean it's been used so often. It's wearing very thin.
Oh.
How's it going, Dennis? Everything all right?
Well, I'm sitting here looking at my computer because it's gone kaput, and I've got some fella looking into it from bloody Timbuktu. He's taking the computer over, and I'm watching what he's doing.
Hang on. Who is the person who's taken over your computer?
Hajibin.
Right, Hajibin.
A fella called Hajibin.
Right. How did you find Hajibin?
Because I paid the computer people to look after my computer.
Well, how did these?
And I rang them, and my computer would not switch on at all.
How did you find these computer people?
Well, when I started with Virgin.
Okay, all right, and it's legit,
it's
is it?
It's a proper paid thing. It's not somebody I've had it done before, and it clears the computer and it will to trade.
And how many times do you have to pay them?
I just pay them. No, I pay when I pay for my ordinary television.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to pay them anymore.
No, I don't pay any more money. No,
All
I
right,
just
calm down. Don't go.
Is he doing it now though? That seems a bit odd.
Sorry.
It seems a bit odd that he's doing it now.
Well, yes, I've switched on to him.
Have you ever had someone
a number to dial? You see, and
hello.
I caught up with some fella in.
Had you been?
First, when he was in Asia, and then I was talking to a chap in Canada. And he's handed me over to a technician who's going through the system with me. I've had it done before.
Had you been?
Something like had you been, yes.
Catherine, have you ever had someone take over your computer while you watch?
Yes,
it's weird, isn't it?
But I also know that my dad got done last week by someone who rang up and started saying... No.
Oh.
By someone who rang up and...
I made myself laugh at the audacity of that.
I know. You're very brave on the other side of that desk.
Yes.
Who convinced him that it was his, his provider, and that they needed to have a look at his computer.
Had you been?
And by the time he realised, they'd already been in a little bit.
Yeah. Oh.
You mustn't
let them in. I regularly get those sort of people.
You mustn't let them in.
So I either tell them I'm an undischarged bankrupt, or I go to the old man business where I get them shouting at the top of their voices because I said I'm deaf. And then I take over with my normal voice and say, if I have any more trouble with you, I shall report it to the police.
Good.
Slam the phone down, and in the corner, my missus is wetting herself, laughing.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Dennis. She is old.
These people, they try it on, but I don't fall for those sort of bloody idiots.
Dennis, good to talk to you, mate.
All the best, boyo.
See you later. Lots of love to the family. Bye-bye. John, I'll come to you in a second. Do you know what it's 10 years? Do you know what we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of? It was when it happened 10 years ago. God, I remember exactly where I was. I was stood in the LBC office watching the news. It was big. It was big news, and we don't talk about it anymore.
No, I don't know.
This week marks a decade since the hamster, Richard Hammond, 46, nearly died in a 288 miles per hour smash and was in a coma for 2 weeks.
Yeah. He came a cropper, didn't he?
He did. It was exciting. I mean, he was going to die, wasn't he?
Yeah. And then it didn't take long for his mates to start making jokes about it again.
Yeah. Mindy Hammond, his wife, revealed he has changed from the man I once knew. He's sharper. His brain now works at a heightened pace.
So explain that haircut then.
Well, he's copying Dad, isn't he? He's copying Clarkson.
Ah.
In all the pictures, he copies Clarkson's pose. There's like the new poster. It's like May with his arms crossed, and Clarkson's got his finger over his mouth. So Hammond's got his finger over his mouth, which is great, celebratory.
It's good for them.
Apart from that, he's still hilarious, difficult, and about as mature as a 10-year-old. Thankfully. John!
Hello.
Hello, John.
Do you want Pradeep?
Do I want a Pradeep?
Yeah.
I've got a bit of a dead leg, but...
That shouldn't get in there.
How does that affect the...
What's I've got?
He breathes right from his toes.
Right.
It's the secret.
Kath, you're going to count us in. So it's 3, 2, 1, go, and then we go after that.
Will he get it? Won't
Hang
there
on
be a
minute.
delay?
No, it doesn't matter. I'll ride the delay.
Okay. Skills.
Hang on. You ready, John?
Yep.
Gonna take you down to Chinatown. I'm gonna kick your ass from here to there. You're gonna wish you'd never caught up to challenge me
All right.
for a Pradeep.
Charlie Big Potatoes. This could end up with egg on your face.
How old are you, Sunshine?
21.
An old man. Old man gonna teach you big time. You don't mess with the old man. I'm the drunken
All right.
master 3.
All right. 3.
No, whoa. Hang on a minute.
Got to prepare.
Right, I've got to go off camera because I don't want people to see my trick.
Are you standing up? Are you standing up, John?
Got to always stand up.
Good.
Every time.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go!
Bye-bye, John. That was embarrassing, wasn't it, for John?
Feeling good about yourself?
Feeling very good about myself, because the thing is, I've not been challenged properly for ages. I mean, that wasn't even... I mean, what was that? I had loads. I was doing a jig at the end. That's why you'd have seen on Periscope. It would have sounded like I was getting out of breath on
He's
the
dancing.
thing. I was doing a jig.
Very cocky.
And I'm out of shape. I tell you what I did the other night.
Oh.
Well, you know, I'm trying to lose weight again.
Mhm.
And I had a go at it, and I got back up close to 16 stone. I'm not having that. So I'm on a diet again. And I went for a run the other night. But I did a...
I'm going to go tomorrow, right? But
Yeah.
I need to go and see the bank manager first.
Yeah.
Is it acceptable
No.
to go in the gear?
Are you after money?
I want them to do something that they probably don't want to do.
What do you want them to do?
Stop charging me for stuff I don't use.
Oh.
I want to change my account. Realise that I'm paying a whopping amount for like insurance and stuff that I get from other people.
I told you my accountant got in touch. They ain't got your tax bill for next year. Bad news, you didn't really earn a lot last year. Good news is it means you're due 12 grand tax rebate.
Ching.
And I'm there going, whoa, yeah, beautiful. And I'm thinking about all this stuff for about an hour. And I thought, I'm just going to look at the figures. And I replied to him and said, Rob, this isn't my tax return. You've missed loads off, mate.
And now you owe me £12,000.
Yeah, thank you.
Dream pounds.
What was I going to say? There's a train of thought there.
Running.
Oh, yeah. I did a...
Do I want to hear this?
Yeah, you do. I did a 7-minute pump off the other day.
Right, I knew it was going to go somewhere.
No. It's an app I've got on my phone. It's over there. I'm looking for my phone. 7-minute pump off it's called, or something like 7 minute. I don't know. Is basically it's 7 minutes of pumping. It's 7 minute little workout.
All right.
So you do.
Are we talking lunges?
Yeah, there's lunges.
Burpees.
Huh? You have to stand with your back against the wall as though you're sat down on an invisible chair.
Oh yeah, the brace position.
For like 45 seconds.
Isn't that a punishment in the army?
Yeah. And then there was one I had to do with it. I didn't have a chair, so I couldn't do it. I had to
sitting down one.
Oh, something like that. So, do you know what? 7 minutes, right? Flipping heck. Oh, I was doing
That'll
it.
do then, won't it?
Thing is, I was doing it in the bedroom about 1 o'clock in the morning, right? Because everyone had gone to bed, and I was wide awake. So I thought I'm going to do, and I felt bad because I weighed myself, and I was nearly 16 stone. I thought, right, I'm going to start changing it now. So
the
I
next
did
7 minutes.
But you know when you do exercises in the house, you don't want anyone to know you're doing exercises. So you do it try and do it really quietly.
Yeah.
So it's like stamping really softly on the floor, but also trying to. If my wife had come in or had stood outside, I can imagine my wife stood out in the hallway in tears, going, "Oh, not again."
I don't want to hear that.
Slaps. I was doing it in my pants as well, so everything was slapping all over the shop. It really was very unpleasant.
I used to do that in when
scenario.
I lived in a flat in Paris, and I had it was the Cindy Crawford or the Elle Macpherson workout.
Yeah.
Anyway, they must have thought all sorts because there was all kinds of banging and clanging going on.
Yeah.
It's a good video though, but I don't think I got my money's worth out of it because I was being so restrained because I was trying to limit the noise.
Jane Fonda started at that, didn't she? She started the
my
business.
mum had that. Have you ever tried to do those?
No.
Flipping hard.
Yeah, that's why I couldn't do it.
Oh.
Still blokey hour?
Apparently.
I get mucky. When I get tired, I get mucky.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
And when you're full of beans, you get mucky.
She said full of beans. Scroobius is coming on the show on Wednesday. I'm looking forward to meeting him. His book is absolutely brilliant. Really inspiring. And I've got an album of his that I'm going to listen to tomorrow or Wednesday. It's tricky now because I haven't got a CD player in the car. And going to listen to a bit more of his podcasts, and we'll just have a chat.
I've listened to a few of his podcasts. I've not read his book, but he seems like a really charming person.
Yeah. It's got to be.
That seems to be the art of the podcast. I mean, that's probably where
there's
you're
got to be
going
something going on. Wrong. He's got to have something up his sleeve that.
What, a nastiness?
Something. Josie Long's going to come on as well. I like.
Good.
Yeah, Well, I tweeted her and she said, "Yeah, DM me," and I did, and she's not got back.
That one.
So she's doing a Giles Martin on me. I don't think Giles Martin is happening now, but
I still have hope.
It's in the hand of other people,
right?
Which is great.
It'll be fine.
Someone's texted in. Have you related the tale of the woman having a go at you for your dog taking a dump in her garden, or have I missed it? You've missed it.
The Residue Chronicles.
I don't leave a residue. I do a little bit. It's impossible not to, particularly when she's got an upset stomach. You missed that. You missed that story.
Oh, sad
all
times.
its heavenly glory. What's this I've written down here? Page 16 of the Sun. Let's see what this says. We'll finish on this. This will be good. Oh, yeah. Oh, no, that looks boring, actually. Here we go. Page 11 of the Express, though. Remember, was it Stuart who phones in about the Puma? Remember Stuart?
Luke,
that's it.
He's not phoned in for ages.
He could have been eaten by the Puma. Where does he live? Is it Yorkshire?
He's Nottinghamshire.
Is that in Yorkshire?
No.
Is it near York? Is Nottinghamshire near Yorkshire or in
Well, it's
Yorkshire?
nearer than we are, yeah.
So it's in Yorkshire.
Pretty much, if you want.
Well, it's real. A nature lover, pervert, nudist. A nudist has taken a photograph of what appears to be a puma. What?
Nothing.
Why do some people say puma? Some people say puma and some people say jaguar.
Americans.
On the prowl in the British countryside, the shy animal... How do you know it's shy?
Is that the naturist or the...
It's like... who's that woman who likes to tell families live on TV that their mum's died in a car crash or a bomb?
Kay Burley.
It's like when Kay Burley posts that picture. Look at the sadness in his eyes. Of a dog.
No.
Of a dog.
Although I do say that quite a lot now.
She's blocked me on Twitter.
Yeah.
Who's blocked me on Twitter? Her, Julia Hartley-Brewer and Steve Allen.
Well, Paul Ross has blocked me. I have no idea why.
Well, I think we have a good idea why.
I might as well make it worth it, though.
Go on, then. According to the the shy animal, which has golden brown fur and piercing eyes...
Golden brown? That's not a
texture
puma.
like sun... hides behind a tree but looks straight down. Here's something I forgot. We had... couldn't find any honey today for the boys' breakfast, so we had syrup, golden syrup on their waffles. Do you know what the picture is on the front of the golden syrup, Tim?
A maple leaf?
No, mate.
No. Oh, it's a lion.
Continue. It's more than just a lion.
A lion with feeding a...
No.
What?
Have you got some at home?
Yeah.
What's your homework? We'll talk about it tomorrow. It's a really interesting... And I remember I was told about it in Bible studies in Sunday school.
Look it up now.
Told about it in Sunday school. No, don't look it up. Honestly, I've set you a bit of homework. Just do that. It's a nice thing.
I want to finish my homework early.
No, well, don't. You'll get disqualified.
Why?
People at home can do this.
I remember you telling me about this before.
Hey, Saber Subrati! Sabir's just... I've just found you again. I used to listen to you when you were at LBC and I was at school. Lol. It doesn't warrant a lol, mate. Don't Google it. Please don't
I'm
Google
not Googling it.
It's an interesting thing. Do you know, Ed, what's on there? Oh. I was talking about it in Sunday school. It's interesting. It's really interesting.
Is that the bit before or after they tell you you're going to hell?
No, that was very happy clapping, my son. So I do think that something might have happened there that my brain has blocked out. I do think something. Because I went back to the place where we used to do it about a year ago. I went back. I've not been there since I was about 9. And I got shudders.
Oh.
Got shudders. Maybe in the Holy Spirit, I don't know. But there's your homework, dear listener. I'd like to say a little bit of homework. Have a look at what's on the front. Don't Google it.
I'm not Googling it. I'm shutting my computer down.
Okay. Dennis, we finished.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, tell her to put her fingers in her ears while I tell you it's B.
No! You can't ruin it and cut him off, silly old sod. What's on the front of Tate & Lyle's golden syrup? It's quite interesting. If you're Googling it, I can see on your screen.
I am not Googling it. I'm shutting down.
I'm going to shut you down. That really has been a show tonight, guys. Yeah. The cheque was cashed, although my accountant is unaware of it, which means I'm in deep financial trouble. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Catherine. Thank you, Periscopers. Thank you, Trolls. Thank you, everybody. Back tonight at 10. Until then, from us, ta-ta.
Talk Radio. Listen. Phone. Talk.
Talk Radio.
We'll get you talking.